work? Are you, for you to be a journalist, if somebody asks you that you're a journalist, are you paid to write stories? You are paid, yes, but by who?
Okay.
You see, I pay myself or by the organization I work for. So I'm paid, but by the organization I work for.
So an enemy of somebody has ever paid you to?
No, you don't do that. In fact, I find it hard because, I'm not a believer in trending things. I don't believe I don't believe in those things, because I don't believe, and that's why I give my opinions. You don't find me tweeting a lot about the same issue. I tweet once, then I say how, because I just want to give my objective truth and leave the people to judge. If they judge that I'm wrong, sawa. If they judge that I'm right, sawa.
Dear motorists, are you not tired of corruption on our roads in a daily basis every day? Like recently, the EACC arrested 3 traffic police officers allegedly collecting bribes along the Naivasha-Mahimai highway, and even shots were fired. Just take a look at how things unfolded.
Okay.
Yes, proceed. Unaanza kwa sisi. Tulia. Sawa. Kutoka pamoja. Mara moja. Tulia.
Yanapiki. Toki. Waraka sana.
Tulia. Kuta.
Acha kana.
Tulia. Unaanza kwa sisi. Tulia.
Ngoja.
Buka hii nani?
Tulia kitu.
Tulia huko.
Just take a look at this video of how some traffic police officers are harassing motorists in a daily basis.
Tendi mahali kama umenishika. Record vizuri, onekane venye amenishika. Record. Wewe unacheza. Ni wache. Itafuta hii gari nani? Niwache. Au nishiki hivyo, hebu niwache. Record. Wewe uko na shida, wewe utatii sana wewe. Haki ya Mungu utatii. Utatii vibaya sana. Hiyo ndio vitu na wakati mimi. Sawa. Nini nilipita na wakati? Iko nadi ona. Onesha gari station. Onesha vizuri. Ndio mkono hapa. Ndio mkono. Onesha. Hiyo pesa ulikuwa unatafuta hata utapata.
The people of Kenya have decided to ask serious questions concerning affordable housing. Kenyans, is this a scam or not? Listen to this.
So tell me, how does this make sense? You take my money, build a house with my money, and then tell me that I do not own that house, that if I want that house, I need to come and buy that house from you. So what's your role in this? Why shouldn't I just take my own money and then go build myself a house? Why do I need to give you that money and then have to come and buy that house from you again? How is that not a scam? How is that not a scam? Because that is what the CS has said. Affordable housing is clearly a bigger scam. Take my money, build a house with it. I don't own that house, you own that house, and then I have to come and buy that house from you. This government is a big Shylock. God have mercy on us.
It is time. It is time for the youth of Kenya to unite, come together and agree on one agenda. Kenya and Kenyans deserve better. Deserve a better tomorrow. Deserve a better future. Development, school, health, you name it. It is time for change. And that change starts with you and I. Listen to what Polo Kimani had to say about this.
Vijana mnajuaniaje? Na sasa hivi ile iko, let me just say this. I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Vijana lazima tuungane pamoja. Alright? Lazima tupatane. We need to move the conversation from online, just lamenting and whining. Lazima tupatane kama vijana. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it needs to be soon. To agree on agenda moja, what we want for this country. Because as it is right now, the ones running the show in the politics washaungana. Kuna bill nimeona imetumwa mahali and money is being distributed among those who call themselves kingpin. Agenda ya tribalism? No. Wachana na. Agenda ya sijui wa mlima? No. We need to come together and speak as the youth of Kenya. Not just in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu, kila mahali. Lazima tupatane tukuwe na agenda moja. But I'm going to make this very brief. That is the only way we are going to have one voice and demand a seat at the table. All right? Thank you very much.
Tunataka barabara kutoka bypass, kutoka 44 ikuje mpaka Windsor, itoke Windsor ifike Ruaka, itoke Ruaka ikuje mpaka Limuru, itoke Limuru irudi Kino, itoke Kino irudi mpaka Njoro, ikikufika hapa Njoro ienda Digitare, itoke hapo irudi mpaka 44 tena ienda hadi bypass Kisumu.
Uongo.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
The problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
From Brian Odhiambo's family denied justice to no jobs in Kenya.
Kama uko na kazi time, ambia Mungu asante.
Are Kenya conservancies safe?
Walinishuti risasi ya kwanza ikaingia hapa ikatokea hapa, ile ingine ndio hii.
Cop Shakur with painful story.
So mama alichomekewa ndani na mtoto, so mama akatoka mtoto nje, but the mother passed.
Anguka na.
We are coming for you.
Authoritarians begin by arresting and charging anybody that criticizes them.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm today and my name is Elvis Derry. Kenyans, if you asked today to describe the current regime, to describe the current government, the Kenya Kwanza government, how would you describe it? Just in 3 words. Listen to how Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Selassie answered this question.
In three words, how can you describe the KK government?
KK government?
Yeah.
How can I describe?
In 3 words.
Hata siwaelewi. Siwaelewi.
Ni moja.
Ana hawaeleweki.
Na wataki kueleweka.
Yani hawaeleweki na wataki kueleweka.
When President William Ruto was in Western Kenya addressing the people, addressing the nation, the people there, the residents there fully backed Peter Selassie by just calling his name whenever the president spoke. And the ground was hostile towards the president and the comrades injected. Just take a look. Currently, so many Kenyans and graduates are looking for jobs every day, but it seems like there's job scarcity, which has led so many people, so many graduates into depression, stress, and even worse, some of them are unaliving themselves. So are you a job seeker out there? Are you looking for a job? Just listen to this.
Kama uko na kazi time, ambia Mungu asante. Kama uko tu na mali unaenda unaingia asubuhi na unarudi jioni, boss, ambia Mungu asante. Watu wanatafuta kazi. Watu wanatafuta kazi. Mimi nakwambia watu wanakuja kwa shop, mtu anakuambia nimemaliza college, unaweza nisaidia na kazi. Namuuliza gani? Yoyote, hata ya nyumba. Na huyu ni mtu amefika a very wonderful course, anakuuliza hata kazi ya nyumba. Mimi wacheni niwaambie, Kenya hizi jobs ziko wapi? Si gava ina providing jobs. Si gava wasaidia watoto wetu wakitoka college wapate kitu. Do you know many of our kids have graduated but they don't have jobs? They are still back to their parents' house to stay with them as they wait for these jobs in quotes. Zitapatikana wapi? Unajua mtafanya watoto wagope kusoma. Watoto wanaogopa kusoma. Juu mwingine I remember there's a video nikasema nimemaliza degree, nimemaliza masters, nikamaliza PhD, ninauza kwa duka. My friend, nilikuja kurealize watu wamesoma hawana job. Yes. Usione mtu anachoma mahindi pale umdharau. Huyo mtu ako na masters. Kuna mtu anasukuma maji na mkokoteni ako na degree. Imagine, alafu waambie mtoto anaingia uni this year. Ati unaona ule anasukuma maji ako na degree. Unaona ule anachoma mahindi ako na masters. Unataka kuambia mtoto nini?
What I know about Kenyans is that Kenyans are the most educated, the most learned people, the most intelligent, smart people, and the most hardworking people from Africa. As the saying goes, cut your coat according to your size. But it seems like the government has forced graduates who have master's degrees, diplomas, PhDs, you name it, to go and work jobs, to do jobs that are not their size. Just recently, says Kipchumba Murkomen, he dismissed job seekers who are ready to bring a difference in this country, rudely telling them that we don't give jobs here. Kenyans, do you remember this? Take a look.
Zia ni nini? Ndio pendi?
Mimi shida yangu ni kazi, maisha mewa.
No, hatupeni kazi hapa. I'm asking you questions ya hapa.
So Kenyans, if I may ask, why is the rate of unemployment in Kenya hitting the roof? Why is employment in Kenya so high? Let's listen to what Monique Diary had to say about this.
Ambia wazazi kama nurses wametosha Kenya, wazazi wache kuwaste pesa yao wakilipia watoto wao nursing na hakuna jobs. Leo nilipost kuna nidika pharmacists in the morning mwenye ako enrolled na Poisons and Pharmacy Board, but majority of the applications zilikuwa kutoka kwa nurses. There are so many madem ni wengi nurses na hawako job. It does not make sense when you get application from more than 50 people. Yeah, the same, like nurses. Yes, kuna adima clinical, whatever, but why? You mean why?
I'm not even surprised. Neither am I shocked that the Kenyan people are complaining about job scarcity in Kenya. Kenyans, let me take your affairs back in the year 2017. When President Ruto was campaigning, he promised the people of Kenya that if elected, over 100,000 graduates will get placements of paid internship by government. Let's listen to what he said.
Person listening to us this evening who will graduate next year either from a TTI or from a university. And we are talking about 100,000 of them. From next year, they will know that they are guaranteed by the Kenya government that on completion, as they leave college, they are entitled to a 1-year internship program paid for by the government of Kenya. They will have money in their bag.
I remember during this time, Kenya had a very different energy, a very different vibe, and people had high hopes. People believed that Kenya is headed in the right direction. But a few years later, when William Ruto was elected as the president of Kenya, he went on to turn his back on the people. So are you out there still looking for a job? If yes, then listen to this.
Kule nyuma wale watu ambao hawana kazi huko nyuma, hebu nione kwa mkono.
This is not a laughing matter. This is very serious. Like currently, so many people's lives are at stake. So many families are at stake. Many people cannot put food on the table, neither take their children to school, and also even access basic medical treatment. Like simply, so many people, so many Kenyans cannot access basic needs in this country. And this is very worrisome because it seems like the Kenya Kwanza government is weaponizing unemployment against the Kenyan people and the youth in this country. Like, is this the new meaning of development? Just listen to what We Don't Have a Country Here had to say about this.
First things first, Jambazi is highly unlikely to trigger protests. Okay? Hata mkisikia he's sneaking funny bills into parliament, Jambazi would rather not steal as much as he thought he can steal, but buy himself time in State House until where his delusions are telling him atafikisha, which isn't far. But Kenyans should understand the high levels of unemployment in this country. It's easy, it's not natural, it's not just happening. It's orchestrated by the state and it's weaponized against the youth. So there are no jobs everywhere. Okay, upward social mobility in this country is almost non-existent.
To be honest, after all this nonsense coming from the political class, lying to the people of Kenya every day after they have been voted into office, this is what I can say about them.
Honorable member, we want to be fair to the candidates. They are not here because of the money that they have made. They are here because of the money they are going to make.
While the Kenyan people, the youths, are tamacking, struggling and being depressed every day, looking for jobs under the red hot sun, Charlene Ruto, who is President William Ruto's daughter, she went on to brag and showcase her illegitimate office of the first daughter. And I'm just wondering, what is the use and the purpose of this office of the first daughter? How is it helping the Kenyan people? How is it bettering the Kenyan people? And how is it taking this country to the next level? Listen to what Chegema Juice had to say.
This is Jermaine Momanyi. He's the head of trade and investments at the office of the first daughter. And this is... This is... I don't get what's funny.
You see, she can't get what is funny. The funny part is, Kenya, the department of the first daughter, we have the head of trade and investment in the office of the first daughter. But yesterday, Business Daily was telling Kenyans that Kenya economy has gone back to the Moi era. My friend, let me tell you, unless you are not in this country or you're not doing business in Kenya, things are bad. Those things, small things, Ruto anaweka, zina more pesa in the economy. There is no circulation of money in the economy. There is none. Economy ya Kenya ni kusema imesimama.
So, in that case, before we continue, take a look at this video of the president daughter, Charlene Ruto, dancing and celebrating the office of the first daughter, while you lambistics out there are suffering. In Nakuru County, Kenya Wildlife Services injured and abducted Brian Odhiambo, who is yet to be found. Brian Odhiambo's family were in pain after the Nakuru locals ruled in favor of the Kenya Wildlife Services, stating that there is no evidence. And I'm just wondering, is this what we call justice? Take a look at some of these things, what happened after the unfair ruling outside Nakuru locals. Justice delayed is justice denied, and I'm just wondering, will Kenyans ever find justice? And where will Kenyans run to when they're in trouble? Nakuru High Court Judge Julius Nangea has dismissed Brian Odhiambo's case, and the question still remains, where is Brian Odhiambo? Is he dead or alive? What a sad time to be a Kenyan. Apart from Kenya Wildlife Services injuring and abducting Comrade Brian Odhiambo, even our own forest Kenyans are under threat. Heinous crimes is taking place under our noses. Just take a look at this disturbing footage.
Haya wadau, this is Lily Lake hapa Karura. I'm sure you've seen these signs before, so msiseme siko. Haya, wacha nionyeshe kazi yenye inaendelea hapa hivi. Hizi ni miti zinakatwa fresh. Hizo chainsaw si moja, si mbili, ni kadhaa. Cheki tu mazee Karura vile inakaa.
Kenyans will remember conservationists by the name of Wangari Maathai, the leader of Green Belt movement. She became a Nobel Prize laureate. She carried out a much publicized campaign for saving the forests. Karura Forest later on became a symbol against controversial land grabbings in Kenya. But a few years later after her death, her hard work and determination to save our forests is not being respected by the rogue government. Let's listen to this.
Why are they logging and deforest? The deforestation that is happening in this country is unprecedented. Okay? Abadeas, Karura. I'm telling you, there's places in Mount Kenya where people are saying, giza inaingia hivi, they turn on floodlights. Logging is happening 24/7. Nini? Just because your regime is about to go doesn't mean you decimate everything in your vicinity. This can't work. And you know the thing about cutting these trees, some of these trees are indigenous. Some of them take 50-60 years to mature. Okay? Jambazi and Duale are logging trees left, right, center. Exporting all these trees. You know the thing is, trees unlike money we can recover. After Jambazi's regime is seated, we can recover money. But trees that take decades to mature, where the hell are we gonna get those trees from? Kazi ni tu doing fake tree planting exercises here and there that bear no water so that they can beg for dollars from this green army. Okay? And we're also seeing these forest fires in Isiolo. What's up with that? Is this a precursor to land grabbing? To forest fires in Isiolo? Since when? Somebody is literally setting up fires ndio waende huko waibe shamba. Jambazi tunaonea 18.
The Kenyan people should stand and fight to protect our lands, our resources, and our forests. Take a look at some of these scenes of Wangari Maathai injecting a few years back.
We're going to shed blood because of our land. We will. We are used to that. Our forefathers shed blood for our land. We will do so. This is my blood. And it reminds me of the blood they shed trying to protect Karura Forest.
Our conservancy is a crime in Kenyans. In Isiolo, the court ruled that the Northern Rangeland Trust's community conservancies are illegal, citing violation of constitutional rights and also exploitation of our local communities. The court found that the Northern Rangeland Trust restricted access to essential grazing land and water, depriving pastoralists of vital resources. Just listen to this, Kenya.
A landmark court ruling was issued today in northern Kenya, supporting local communities who said wildlife conservancies established on their land violated their constitutional rights. Judges have ruled in favor of the local herders. DW's Daniel Plafka has more from the courthouse in Isiolo.
This ruling has been more than 3 years in the making and has major implications on how proceeds from the sale of natural resources on community lands might be distributed going forward. The court has ruled that the activities of armed rangers under the management of the Northern Rangelands Trust, which operates Africa's largest soil carbon offset scheme, are illegal and unconstitutional. It's not the first time that community members have sued the organization, but it is the first time that a case of this kind has gone to judgment.
This ruling follows a documentary exposing the Northern Rangeland Trust's controversial carbon offsetting project, which critics claim that it lacks environmental benefits, undermining local land rights. Even activists have come forward and accused the Northern Rangeland Trust for human rights abuses, and also forceful displacement of communities. In the name of what, Kenyans? In the name of conservation. So they're committing all these atrocities on our land. In the name of what? In the name of conservation. But just take a look at how people injected, fighting for what rightfully belongs to them.
Ardhi kutoka Rapsu mpaka Moliti
Na sisi ni watu wa malisho, wafugaji. Ikishikwa area hii, hakuna mahali ambapo tutafuga. Mali yetu tunasomesha na watoto. Hospitali ndio hiyo. Chakula ndio hiyo. Tukikosa malisho. Hakuna kusomesha watoto, hakuna hospitali.
NRT na hakuna faida tunapata kutoka kwao. Hakuna watoto wetu wanapata elimu kutoka kwao. Na sasa wanataka kutunyang'anya ardhi yetu, waweke mpaka katikati yetu. Kwa hivyo sisi kama watu ya Kina hatutaki watu wanaitwa NRT.
Despite these allegations, the Northern Regional Trust continues to receive funding from major international donors and selling carbon credits to corporations like Meta and Netflix. The court upheld community land ownership rights and gave the Northern Regional Trust 14 days to appeal. The locals have hailed the decision as a victory for their ancestral lands and also for their livelihoods.
Wanapenda watu watano ambayo wanajiita wanasikizana na governor ndio wanatutisha hapa. Na sisi tumejenga governor. Kama ni kujenga yeye, sisi yenyewe tumejenga. Na wamedivide watu. Wanatafuta vita baina ya wakaaji hapa yenyewe. Hiyo watu hata governor apate habari ya kwamba jina yake ndio inatumika. Wanasema sisi tuko na governor na hakuna mtu anaweza kataa NRT na wanatulazimisha kwa njia hiyo.
Still in our conservancies, crime is becoming more rampant. Some men were tortured and almost killed at Oipajata and Lewa. And I'm just wondering, when will all these injustices stop? Human rights violations that are around these conservancies is becoming a daily occurrence. Just listen to this story.
Wakaniuliza uko na familia? Ndio niko na familia. Na hiyo familia unaipenda? Familia ndio ninapenda familia yangu. Kama ile kitu tutakwambia hautakubali, leo ndio itakuwa siku yako ya mwisho. Sasa walikuwa wanataka nipiduke. Ndio niwaangalishe nini mgogo. Ndio nipie sasa ati nikitoroka nilikuwa natoroka.
So nani anakuambia hii ndio siku yako ya mwisho?
Ni Batian Kiring na ananiambia mbele yao.
Kumulika nikapata ni KPR wa Rupejata. Na nikaona walikuwa watano. Walinishuti risasi ya kwanza, ikaingia hapa, ikatokea hapa. Ile nyingine ndio hii. Wakanishuti ya pili. Kunishuti ya pili nikaamuka, sasa wakanigonga ingine ya mguu. KPR wa Rupejata wakasema sio wao walinishuti, ni KWS. Nao KWS wakauliza wao walinishuti wakiwa wapi? Wakasema wao hawakukua kwa kazi, wao ni kuitwa waliitwa.
Oh, so sasa Olpejeta wanataka uwekelee KWS.
Niwekelee KWS.
Sema hata upewa buduki. Mnyama atokea kigafura. Upie ni shida. Kwa hivyo afadhali ukufe, mnyama abaki. Hiyo ndio sheria yao.
Mercenaries operating in these conservancies. Some of those people who are killing our people are not KWS soldiers or game rangers. They are told first suspect anyone as a poacher. And don't arrest, shoot. We have to bring dignity to our people. Kenya is no longer a colony. You know, our people are being treated the way they used to be treated before independence.
Oipajata Conservancy has blocked Kenyans from grazing their animals, even during dry seasons. But a South African billionaire is allegedly grazing his cows in the same conservancy. Just take a look. In Bungoma County, a young mother was burned to death and leaving her 9-year-old baby with serious injuries. The attackers were targeting the Nyumba Kumi chairperson who recently moved out from the same house that the mother and the young baby were living in. The perpetrators, they locked the house from outside, poured petrol and set the house on fire. But the mother, before her death, she managed to throw the baby outside the house. Just listen to what Kop Shakur had to say about this.
So I'm here in Bungoma. You can see this house. Wakati tunaongelea femicide issues, there was a mother who was burnt. Alichomekea hapa mbele, alichomwa na watu. So this is the house. And it's alleged that the people who wenye walimchomea hapa ndani, they are protected by the police. Mama. So kuna mama alichomewa hapa, alikuwa na mtoto. So walichomewa, walikuwa na mtoto ndani, walifungiwa ndani kwa mlango, walifungiwa na nje. Fungiwa na nje. Walichoma na nini? Petroli. Wakachoma na petroli, so the mother hakuwa able kupita. Hakuwa able kutoka. So mama alichomekea ndani na mtoto. So mama akatupa mtoto nje, but the mother passed, but mtoto sasa yako ICU. This is the husband. Yeah, bro. Unaweza sema chenye ili happen?
Mimi kwa nyumba nyumbani. Kushughulika mambo na ujenzi. Wote nilipata tu nikuje huko haraka. Ndio kufika huko napata.
Kuna nguvu kidogo.
Ilikuwa nikija huko haraka, nilipigwa tu simu kuja. Kakuja nikaona nyumba ni moshi yote.
Eyewitnesses identify the suspect, who is also well connected with the police, and yet the criminal remains free. Like Kenyans, where are we heading to as a country?
Walichoma na nini? Petroli. Wakachoma na petroli, so the mother hakuwa able kupita. Hakuwa able kutoka. So mama alichomekea ndani na mtoto. So mama akatupa mtoto nje, but the mother passed.
While crime is becoming more rampant in the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto is going around just lying to the people of Kenya. Do you remember when he said that the Grammys will be held in Kenya after paying 500 million Kenya shillings?
Let me help you, Dennis. Actually, the money for Grammys we already paid. We are not about to pay. We already paid 500 million shillings towards that, and I'm sure the gentleman from Grammys can confirm that that is the direction we are going.
It is quite clear that Kenyans got played. You got played. And the Grammys were not held in Kenya, but were held in the US, in California. Take a look at this video of how Wizkid injected at the Grammys. Even actor Nyakundi Saboke was shocked beyond words after the Grammys were not held in Kenya as promised by the Kenya Kwanza regime. Just listen to what he had to say.
Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, lakini si Grammys zilikuwa tu zifanywe hapa hivi Kenya ama kuliendaje? Juu niko hapa na ngoja kina Kendrick washuke, watu tunaona tu ni kina Mlamwa. What's happening bana?
And the question of today is, are Murima people, the people from the mountain, confused politically? Do they vote with their emotions in every election season? Listen to what Jema Ulemse had to say.
Bro, ati unaniambia watu wa Central ama watu ya Mlima mambo ya siasa wanakuaga mafala mbaya sana. Aje tena mzee.
Waje nikwambie
wako na marais wengi. Aje
watu ya Mlima kama zi numbers yao kwa kisiasa wangekuwa chini. If any other community ingekuwa na zile numbers watu wa Central wako nazo, wangekuwa mbele sana.
Ufala yao kwani inakujia wapi?
Ni juu kila time wakipiga kura wanapiga juu ya emotion.
Emotion tena.
Their political decisions are based on emotion. Inakuaga, "Oi, huyu ni mtu yetu. Wanamutesa. Sijui wanataka kumupeleka wapi? Huyu ni mtoto ya masikini,
amenyimwa ndege.
Huyu Uhuru ati anamfanyia nini?" Si hivyo ndio Ruto kwani walimpenda jua nini?
Hivyo.
Anateswa na nani? Anateswa sana na Uhuru. Wakapiga kura. Sasa saa hii wameingia kwa ujinga ingine, wanazao Gachagua ndio walitengeneza hii noma wako ndani yake. Sasa wanaona Gachagua ameteswa, ametolewa, sasa wamejisahau. Hadi sisi hatuko kwa serikali ya Ruto sababu ya upuzi. Hadi sasa wako na Gachagua, na Gachagua ndio walitengeneza hii mambo wako. Kama kuna shida ya kisiasa ama ya maendeleo, Gachagua ndio walitengeneza.
Kwani ndio maana alikuwa anang'ang'ana juu asitoke.
Sasa anajua ni wajinga, amerudi akawaambia tulidanganywa pamoja. Hadi tulidanganywa pamoja. Sasa wote ukiwauliza, huyo Ruto vile ametufanyia. It's so sad. 2012 walivote na emotion. 2017 emotion. 2022 emotion. Na sasa 2027
ishaingiza kudumu.
Wanaelekea hivyo.
Sindano ya emotion. Ruto ni mtu mbaya sana.
Hiyo ujinga itafanya watu wa Central tubakinge nyuma kisiasa, because all our decisions are based on emotions and not on issues. Ni ufala.
Gonjwa, ajali and everything else. And maandamano. And those people, they were praying for us. They were fighting for the flag. So let's pause for a minute
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Authoritarians begin by arresting and charging anybody that criticizes them.
We are coming for you.
From Francis Gaido exposing Nuruddin Haji.
You can abduct children. You can abduct our children. You can abduct us. Because who the do you think you are?
To Nuru Okanga versus Osa Sudi.
Msenge sana wewe. Wewe ndio senge. Usitukane rais wewe. Wewe ndio senge bwana.
Was Senator Okiya Omtata bribed?
I was offered. How much? 10 million. They paid a deposit of 7 million to people.
Message to Kenyans.
Every time you've been told God chose a president, later, you cried.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm of today and my name is Elvis Derry. Before we start today's episode, Kenyans, do you remember these words?
All sovereign powers belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be, underline the word in shall, mandatory, be exercised only in accordance with this constitution. The people may, optional, may, optional. That is it, Your Honor.
In simple terms, Kenyans, the Kenyan people may exercise their sovereign power either directly or through the democratically elected leaders. And this statement, it is protected and supported under Article 33 of the Kenyan Constitution, freedom of expression. And even what I'm doing right now in the media, I am protected under Article 34 of the Kenyan Constitution, freedom of media. And also you as the viewer watching this video right now, you are supported and protected under Article 35 of the Kenyan Constitution, freedom and to access of information. So Kenyans, in that case, when the Gen Zs occupy the Kenyan parliament and other government offices in Nairobi and other counties in Kenya, do you think that the president of Kenya, William Ruto, should have resigned with immediate effect? Do you think that in that moment he should have stepped down from power? Listen to what Robert Alai had to say.
Sazile umevamia parliament. Yeah. In fact, in a good country, yes, rais anafaa kuwa resign.
Oh. Okay.
In a good country.
Yes.
So Mheshimiwa Ruto,
so he should have gone.
He should have gone immediately.
Yeah. Walipovamia bunge.
Because unajua state house inaweza kuwa hata kwa nyumba yako.
Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa hata juu ya nchi. State house can be anywhere.
Okay.
But parliament is the symbol of authority in a civilian government.
Yes.
So vile parliament ilivamiwa.
Yes.
Ilitingisa nguvu ya serikali.
Okay.
So comrades, before we continue, just take a look at this rare footage of how the Gen Zs injected, exercising their constitutional rights by occupying the Kenyan parliament buildings. Take a look.
Let's go. Yo, that's shooting. That's shooting, man. That's shooting. That's shooting. Yo, that's shooting, man. That's shooting at us. That's shooting. What? Live bullets. Why not to shoot, man? Why are you shooting? Why? Yeah, Nani. Bro, they're shooting at us. They're fucking shooting at us, man. It's a bullet. Headshot.
Nadi kona damu chini. Nadi chini kona damu.
Napiga. Headshots. The camera headshots. They've killed somebody, guys. These are headshots right here.
Blood. Damu ndio hiyo hapo.
Amazing. I salute all the Gen Zs out there. I salute parents to Gen Zs. I salute you. Like the Gen Zs occupy that day. The Gen Zs are fearless that day. The Gen Zs, they never backed down. They never gave up. And they continued fighting despite the challenges that faced them. And for those who lost their lives during that day, may their souls rest in eternal peace. And we will never stop talking about it. We will never stop being vocal about it. And we will keep on fighting till justice is served.
They're shooting at us, man. As a parliament. Wewe ndani. So as you can hear, like this people are actually shooting like live bullets, man. Shooting live bullets. Don't forget.
Dear Kenyans, did you know that the Gen Zs have the power to decide on who is going to be the next president in this country? Did you know that the Gen Zs have the power to decide and even destabilize this country if they wanted to? But it seems like some politicians are taking it lightly. They are underestimating the power of the Gen Zs. They think this is a joke. The Gen Zs are just joking. Even to the point where the president of Kenya, William Ruto, he went to the public space to humiliate and to talk down on the Gen Zs. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Hawa watu ya makelele hii wanasumbua, wanapiga makelele sijui mitandao wapi. Hawa watu wako na kazi ngumu sana. Kushindana na mimi, wako na kazi ngumu. Wako na kibarua kubwa sana. Na bado mimi napanga tu kazi. Siku yenye tunaangaliana ati siasa kwa maneno. Sasa mimi nawauliza watu wa Kakamega. Hawa watu wanajua vile hii mpango ya miwa inapangwa? Wanajua? Hata wanajua Mumia ziko wapi? Mumesikia wakiongea mambo ya barabara? Mumesikia wakiongea mambo ya stima? Mumesikia mkiongea chochote? Si mambo yao ni kuchora tu kwa internet na kuzunguka na fitina. Hawa watu tawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema.
So, to the Kenyan government, one thing you should know is that the Gen Zs are here to stay and the Gen Zs are not going anywhere. Despite the torture, the killings and the abductions of our fellow comrades, of our fellow Gen Zs, every day when you watch the news, somebody was abducted, somebody was killed, a Gen Z body was found in the mortuary. But this will not stop us. We will continue being vocal and fighting for the rights and the freedom of this country until the day Ruto must go comes to pass. we will not stop being vocal. And let me tell you, Kenyans, since the Gen Z protests started, since the Gen Z started becoming vocal in this country, even it has forced companies to start evaluating on how they conduct their businesses. Let's listen to this.
You can know Gen Z from two things. Huh? Yeah. Number one, Gen Z are very, very vocal about their rights. They are the only Kenyans who say, my rights. My rights. Msaki wa job, anakuambia my rights. In fact, I didn't go to work today because it wasn't giving.
Honestly.
Yeah?
Alafu wako very expressive. One expressive ni mbaya sana.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing.
It's a good. What's bad about it?
It's a good thing because it has forced companies to reevaluate. Because this is the generation now that's checking. It's because they're finishing, they're entering union clearing. They're checking into the workforce. Yeah. And from what I've seen, it's forcing guys to reevaluate. Your design guys are like, how are we going to deal with these guys? Right? Now, the problem is most companies have gone hard on the giving guys pizza, but la kuwapatia mshahara fiti.
Shout out to our former company.
Maze pizza
that's always to get
good salary.
Even a bleached government spokesperson by the name of Isaac Maura, he came on to ask the Gen Zs to stop sending emails to foreign governments. But let me tell you, Kenyans, the Gen Zs injected. Recently, the Gen Zs sent thousands of emails to the Netherlands royal family, urging King Willem Alexander and Queen Maxima not to dare visit Kenya after these two individuals accepted President Ruto's invite. And let me tell you, Kenyans, if they dared visit Kenya, they will have seen hell on earth. It is good for them that they never came to Kenya. They never dared to visit this country. Just listen to what Isaac Maura, government spokesperson, had to say.
Kuna wachache ambao wangelipenda kuharibia hii nchi sifa kwa vizingizio kwamba hakuna usalama. Na tunaona pia Wakenya, na ningependa kuwarai Wakenya wenzangu. Wengine wanaanza kuandika hizi barua huko, barua pepe, wakienda kushtumu serikali katika asasi za kimataifa. Haitokufaidi wewe Mkenya. Ni vizuri hata kama tuna tofauti zetu za hapa mchini, lakini katika kiwango cha kimataifa tuonyeshane kwamba tupo pamoja. Wengine hata wanaanza kusema kwamba wageni mashuhuri wasije kutembelea nchi hii. Itakufaidi nini wewe Mkenya kwamba unasema kwamba huienzi nchi yako? Hamna nchi yoyote ambayo haina tofauti zake.
Kenianen doen op social media en in de kranten daar een beroep op het koningspaar om het staatsbezoek in maart af te zeggen. Volgens hen is het bezoek aan Kenia bedoeld om het imago van president William Ruto op te poetsen. Ruto krijgt veel kritiek vanwege mensenrechten schendingen. Veel meer erover op de site en in de app.
Since the Gen Zs occupied the Kenyan parliament, it seems like the Kenyan government is scared of the Gen Zs. And currently, sources claim that the Kenyan government is trying to relocate the Kenyan parliament from Nairobi to a different county. And currently, different counties are fighting on who will host the new Kenyan parliament. Listen to what the Villager 254 had to say.
Parliament inahamishwa kutoka Nairobi, wadau. So I hear counties are fighting who will host it. Atuanahamisha kutoka Nairobi kwa sababu ya Gen Zs. Wanaogopa mkuje kuingia huko tena. Gen Z ni kina nani? Watakomboa magari Nairobi, wataenda kwa hiyo city mumeenda. Na sasa saa hii wataingia kabisa na wataharibu kila kitu. Okay, Gen Zs, si mko na nguvu. Si mko na nguvu. What? Parliament inahamishwa. Ujasikia hiyo wewe? Bas, umejua.
So whether the government relocates the Kenyan parliament to a different county, as long as that parliament is in the Kenyan territory, let me tell you, we'll continue injecting. The people may, the people may, the people will, and the people shall. Hey!
The people may. Optional. May. Optional.
Even the governor of Kisumu County, he came on to stand with the Gen Zs and to stand with the victims of abductions, the victims of torture and killing. He went on to narrate his story on how he was abducted and tortured during the Moi era. Just listen to how he narrates his story.
You might be wondering why I came to stand with the victims of abductions. I want to tell you that as we were struggling for the second liberation, We are quite often abducted from our homes. They put you in a police Land Rover, they tie your eyes, put you at the back, lying on the back of the police Land Rover, and they drive you in town, sometimes around about for so many times. And finally, when they have driven you for a long time, you feel the Land Rover going down into a hole. And then it stops somewhere. When you come out, they push you in a room whose walls are black and water on the floor, and they lock you in there. That was Nyayo House. And in the morning, they will come and pick you up, take you to the 23rd floor, and you see about 8 men looking very mean, interviewing you. And they will tell you that if you don't answer our questions, we are not at the 23rd floor, we'll drop you to Kenyatta Avenue, and of course you will die. So you must answer our questions. That thing can go on for weeks because we are very resilient. And then finally, you are either released or they take you to detention. This happened to me several times.
Do you remember how the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, was impeached? He was impeached in a blink of an eye. He was never even given time and space to breathe. And let me tell you, Kenyans, some senators, some members of parliament, some politicians, they were bribed up to 10 million shillings each to participate in the impeachment of the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Let's listen to what Senator Okiya Mtata had to say about this.
I was offered, how much? 10 million. They paid a deposit of 7 million to people and 3 million after the voting.
Ukawacha 10 million.
Niliwacha hiyo 10 million.
Okay, ile 7.
Sio 10 ni 7 plus 3.
No, si 7 ni depo.
Yeah, hiyo sasa ilikuwa uchukue depo na wende. And me, I say this thing, one thing I said is that an innocent man, even the devil, give him his due. The Katiba is very clear that the procedure for impeaching the president shall apply to the deputy president with the necessary amendments. And I said, we, even the National Assembly, did not get out the necessary amendments for impeaching this man.
To be honest, comrades, to be honest, Kenyans and Gen Zs at large, the only language that this government understands is violence. Violence. Violence is the language they only understand. Listen to what the member of the National Assembly of Kenya, Johana Ngeno Kipyegon, had to say.
Ati kwa sababu unapenda sisi. William Samoei Ruto, waje nikwambie, mapenzi hatutaki. Mapenzi pelekea bibi yako. Ambia William Samoei mapenzi yapelekea nani? Sisi watu ya Narok tuko na Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye ako juu. Anatuchunga na anatupenda. Juzi bibi yako alikuwa anaombaomba makanisani mpaka anapiga magoti. Hata Mwenyezi Mungu amrehemu. Akiomba leo, kesho unafanya dhambi nyingine. Akiomba kesho unafanya dhambi nyingine. Kwa nini unafanyika kazi ngumu bibi yako? Kwa nini hata wewe usihurumie bibi yako? Anakuombea kila siku. Hata mpaka mimi mwenyewe nahurumia yeye, sijui hata taambia yeye. Nilikuwa nimeandikia yeye SMS ratio. Hii bwana yako hii, afadhali waachane na yeye mpaka kura iishe ndio mrudiane. Hii atakupeleka motoni.
We all know Musalia Mudavadi. Yeye bure shibe ako sawa. But anyway, that is a story for another day. Let us continue. The African National Coalition grassroots leaders, they have abandoned Musalia Mudavadi after he decided to merge with Ruto's party. Can you imagine that? He decided to merge with Ruto's party. This is another level of betrayal. And Kenyans, do you think that betrayers and backstabbers deserve to have any kind of power in this country?
We worked hard to build a party whose ideology and vision we believed in. We note that the top leadership of the party has allowed itself and our party to be swallowed up by our competitors. At first, we thought that we were together on a public mission. We see that this was not the case. Our brothers and sisters have allowed our party to be swallowed up without even the basic courtesy of consulting us. While we don't know where and why they have gone, we wish them well, but we want to be emphatic that we will not go with them. We refuse to be part of this journey to the unknown.
Thika Town constituency, parliamentary aspirant by the name of Francis Gaido, he came out to reveal some hidden truths about a Kenyan politician by the name of Nurdin Haji. And let me tell you Kenyans, I was shocked beyond words with what Francis Gaido had to say. Let's listen to this.
You can abduct children. You can abduct our children. You can abduct us. Because who the f do you think you are? Because you went for some crash courses. You went for some holiday tuition to study Hitler, to study Nazi era domination and subjugation of populations through intelligence tactics. Nurdin Haji, if you look at the history of his father was called Mohammed Yusuf Haji. He was a long time provincial commissioner of the Rift Valley province. If you look at the Akiumi report, if you look at the other Truth and Justice report by Justice Kriegler from South Africa, all of them mention and mention adversely Nurdin Haji's father. Nurdin Haji's father was a perpetrator of war crimes and genocide, forceful eviction, internal displacement. He particularly targeted communities like Kikuyu, like Luhya, like Luo, like Kisii, forcefully evicting them from Rift Valley at the instigation of Daniel Arap Moi.
In the highest, biggest, and fastest growing economies in the world, they run their businesses 24/7, day and night, from Monday to Sunday. There's no resting. That's why they're beating us. They're showing us dust every day. And do you think that this kind of system should also be implemented in Kenya? Listen to this.
Sahi ni saa 9:30, niko Nairobi CBD. Angalia. Huku watu ambao wameamka peke yake ni wale watu wana travel. Wana biashara wamelala. Na hii ni capital city. Jeffrey Musiri ulinyima permit. Watu wa Nairobi kama mtaki kufanya biashara mpea wale watu wenye kwa jobless. Muwape hizo mabiashara zenyu. Saa 9 na bado mtu amelala kwa nyumba. Muamke muache mchezo. Watu wa Nairobi nyinyi.
Living in Kenya, you seriously need to have a PhD in self-control, anger management, and toughness. Even in the most expensive neighborhoods in Nairobi, Kilimani, the residents there are suffering and crying every day to the government because of the poor state of the roads. And yet, what is the government doing? And I'm also wondering, what is the county government of Nairobi and the Kenyan Urban Roads Authority doing to fix this issue? Take a look.
This is Kilimani, and you heard me right. Yes, this is Kilimani, and this is the sad state of roads in Kilimani right now, and it's even getting more and more worse every day. It's very unfortunate that a real estate neighborhood like Kilimani will have this kind of infrastructure. The county government of Nairobi, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and the government as whole has failed us in Kilimani and in so many other parts of Nairobi as well. And especially unfortunate for Kilimani because Kilimani is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Kenya. For an acre in Kilimani, you have to part ways with over 400 million. Otherwise, guys, this is my one-bedroom Airbnb in Kilimani. If you're looking for one of the best, beautiful, clean, well-finished, well-furnished Airbnbs in Kilimani, just call or contact me on this number. It's well-finished, it's very clean in a serene and clean area, far from most of the noise, but still close to all the malls, shopping centers, Chandaria and the rest. And also you get amazing view from the 13th floor. I also have 2-bedroom and a studio, so call me if you need one.
Even our own airport, our own international airport, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, is also not spared under this regime.
Anyway, Jomo Kenyatta looks like a warehouse. Tell me why Jomo Kenyatta looks like a warehouse, my lord.
The National Committee, tasked with refining the university funding model, they have failed miserably since its inauguration in September 2024. And currently Kenyans, frustration is mounting among university students. And the students have said and have declared that this useless committee is ineffective. Just take a look at how comrades injected.
Power! Power! Congress, wisdom! Wisdom! Comrade man is not a boy! Yes. Comrade power! Power! Comrade power! Power! We are tired with this committee. This government don't have priorities. Yes. If education is the equalizer and everywhere they go they are talking about education, yes, then they should put funds to this committee so that we can finish all these things. Because till today, this is the 8th week, we are still planning for the program of everything and online meeting. This committee is incompetent and is not showing any seriousness. Comrades, power.
At Bunge la Mwananchi, I believe it's in Jacaranda grounds, Nuru Okanga has endorsed Raila's pointman or motion hour, declaring that he will be vying for current MCA ward seat. In that statement, underline the word Raila. Anyway, let's listen to this endorsement.
Nataka nishukuru Moshi kwa sababu pia yeye ameamua jinsi nilijitoza kwa kiwanja 2027 pale nyumbani, majaliwa Mwenyezi Mungu kwa Raila ward na iendea, na pia namshukuru kwa kuamua kwenda pale Karen kupambana na wale matajiri. Mimi nataka niambie wana Karen ya kwamba uongozi si pesa na si masomo. Uongozi ni hekima. Ukipewa hekima utaongoza watu kwa njia mzuri. Ukiangalia katika Biblia, Suleimani alipoulizwa na Mungu, ungependa nikupee nini? Suleimani alisema, akajibu kwa unyenyekevu akasema, I need wisdom. Wisdom ni hekima. So sisi kama bunge la mwananchi ama sisi kama vijana Kenya mzima, licha ya kukosa masomo, licha ya kukosa nini, lakini tunaamini ya kwamba Mungu ametupea hekima na ametupea akili na maarifa, ya kwamba tukipewa nafasi kwa serikali ambayo inakuja 2027, sisi tutaenda kudeliver.
After the endorsement speech, Nuru Okanga, Kennedy Songasonga and Omoshwan Hour, they were allegedly abducted and dumped inside the bush. Let's listen to how they narrate their story.
Tulikuwa pale Kenyatta tukienda kutetea wa Kenya, tukiangalia mambo ya SHA na SHI kama inafanya kazi. Na from nowhere tulipoenda pale, attention ikawa juu, tukachukuliwa tukaweka kwa masubaru. Mimi sikuwa najua niko kwa Subaru gani. Pia tuka hapa na Songasonga, tuka hapa na Omoshi, na tuko na huzuni kwa sababu kama tunaweza tokea kwenda kuangalia venye maisha ya Wakenya inaendelea, tunafika Kenyatta tunapelekwa mbio. Sasa hata hapa mimi sijui niko wapi. Na mimi nataka nishukuru watu wa media kwa sababu wale watu wa media tulikuwa na wao, kumbe walikuwa wamefocus. Na tulikuwa na mmoja wetu alikuwa pale na gari, walikuwa pia wamefocus na walikuwa chonjo. So venye ile gari ilikuwa inaenda, walikuwa wanajaribu kutufuata na ikashindikana. Na tumetupwa na tukapiga simu kwa sababu simu zetu pia zilichukuliwa, lakini wakaangalia wakaona hawa vijana pia walikuwa wanakuja kuangalia. Yangu wameenda nayo. Ya Umoshi ndio wameenda nayo, but yangu imewashinda kwa sababu yangu ni ya mkopo.
Later on, Nuru Okanga was live addressing his followers, but instead of him ignoring and not arguing with a fool, he decided to go head on with Oscar Sudi, exchanging words on live. Let's listen to this conversation.
Mwanamke, kila siku natokeanga mimi ni mwanamke.
Msenge sana wewe.
Wewe ndio senge.
Usitukane rais wewe.
Wewe ndio senge bwana. Tumeona marais wangapi?
Rais ni mama yako.
Tumeona marais wangapi?
Rais ni mama yako.
Tumeona marais wangapi?
Wewe tafuta pesa usindie familia yako.
Na kuuliza tumeona marais wangapi? Hata Moi alikuwa rais, Kenyatta alikuwa rais, Kibaki amekuwa rais, Uhuru amekuwa rais. Kwani huyu wenu wa Sogoi ndio gold ametoka juu akaanguka chini? Mamina zenu nyinyi.
Kama ni rais,
kwendeni huko.
Patie rais
Huyu wa Sogoi ndiye amekuwa rais wa kwanza Kenya. Ama Kenya imepata uhuru jana, Ruto akaingia kuwa rais.
Sasa ndiye rais.
Tumeona rais wengi bwana, acheni ujinga mnatusumbua nayo hapa. Acheni ujinga. Utandike mama yako. Mimi ni bibi yako, utatandika.
Mimi nitakutandika vibaya sana.
Utandike nani? Bila alishenzi wewe. Mimi si bibi yako. Nitakutandika.
Kenyans are giving the government sleepless nights every day. The people decided to shut down Mumias West Member of Parliament Johnson Manya in Ruto's presence after he decided to call for Ruto's re-election. Let's take a look at this video of how Kenyans rejected and injected.
Watu ambao wanasema Ruto 2027 mkono juu. Mimi sipigangi siasa, mimi napiga kura. Na Mbuyu anarudi bunge 2027.
It is quite clear that Kenyans are not boarding and there will be no re-election that will be taking place in the year 2027. And this is the only message I can leave you with. Listen to this.
This is what I urge Kenyans. Kenyans, I want you to know one thing. This one thing you must know. God will not choose your president for you. God has never chosen a president for Kenya. Every time you've been told God chose a president, later, you cried. It is these very unscrupulous leaders, useless leaders, wicked leaders who pay prophets. They buy prophets to prophesy they are from God, yet they are not from God. If they were from God, why do you cry after they assume office? God will not choose your president for you. Rise up and choose your president. You are first a Kenyan. The politicians have made you believe that you are first a Luo before you are a Kenyan. You are first a Kalenjin before you are a Kenyan. You are first a Kikuyu before you are a Kenyan. Kenyans can change it. You are first a Kenyan before you are a Luo. You are first a Kenyan before you are a Kikuyu. You are first a Kenyan before you are a Kalenjin. You are first a Kenyan before you are a Kamba. Please don't see yourself with your tribe. Identify with your country and help heaven take these evil politicians from the leadership of this nation. May God bless Kenya. May God bless Kenyans.
Let us all not be threatened that politics is a dirty game. It is upon you and I to make the right decision in the coming election in the year 2027. Anyway, take a look at some of these Gen Z skits.
I'm a Gen Z in corporate. Of course, my work day is from 9 to 5. At 5, laptop closed. I'm a Gen Z working in corporate. Of course, I can't take any job that requires me to work in the office for 5 whole days. Kwani what's remote working? I'm a Gen Z working in corporate. By now, you need to know that I'm going to take mental health days. Probably 3 or so in 1 month. I'm a Gen Z working in corporate. Of course, after every international trip from the management, I'm going to expect the gifts. So you better bring those chocolates.
Kijana, do you know why I pulled you over? Misjui is how... What's happening? Oh, these other policemen are so boring. Gosh. Tumestopisha matatu hapa nyuma. Guess what? Ebu wait. 12 people kwa 5-seater. Sherehe iko wapi? Okay, anyway, mtanisho sherehe iko wapi? So, as I was saying, history ya matatu. So this matatu guy is speeding. Like, I mean, this guy is taking off. And then so he's like, let me give you some moolah, then you guys let me go. Yeah, imagine he said that. Guess what this guy removes from his pocket? 100 shillings. Like, hata ningetaka kuchanga mzinga. 100 bob. Are you serious? Do I have a gun? Yeah. Jokes. No, kita. Anyway, I just wanted to tell someone about my day. It's been quite boring. So, yeah. Mnataka nisahau, najua mnaenda sherehe, mnisonge.
Na by the way, Ruto ako karibu kukufa. Unajua kenye namaanisha? Alikuwa anapeangwa damu na akaambiwa na daktari zimebaki 3 months. Hakuna damu ingine atawekwa juu mwili imekataa. Kama si pesa angekuwa alienda kitambo sana. That's why unaona ana ruin maisha yetu. Watoto wake ameweka kwa business, ameweka mtoto wake akona hizi ma forward. Yani anaweka familia yake kwa mali yote. Ndio maana anatutesa. But namuombea akuwe salama na
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
From Adani using Kenyan influencers.
I was there for actually 7 good hours. And off we go to my final destination.
To Advocate Ndegwa Njiru's special message.
Hii nchi iko na shida. Watu wako na shida mingi sana, nchi iko na shida.
Do you regret as a voter?
Me, I voted for you, but I'm now regretting, bana. I'm now regretting this.
American rapper 50 Cent in Kenya.
12 years ago, Octopuzzo hosted 50 Cent in Kibera.
Wanted to see the fight again.
We're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your host of today and my name is Elvis Derry. Did you know that Adani Group is not even paying but using Kenyan influencers and giving them free trips to go to India to showcase the Adani Group good work? Did you know that? Take a look at this video of this propaganda video of Nairobi, who was taken to India to spread propaganda.
It's time to pack my bags again and head out and see the world. This destination is something you won't see coming. It's the most unexpected destination. In Doha, I had a fun time. I was there for actually 7 good hours. And off we go to my final destination. Let me tell you guys, immediately I landed, I didn't expect that I'll be picked up from the doorstep of the plane. Everything I thought I knew about this country started to fade away. We are in Mumbai. Guys, I haven't told you, I think I hadn't mentioned that I'm actually coming to India, and yes, we're here. So let's come and wait for my bags. Hello, how are you? Fine. So we'll be waiting for my bags here. I'm so ready to explore Mumbai. What's good, India? I'm so excited.
Do you regret voting for the current regime? Take a look at this Kenyan man who is very disappointed on voting for the current president.
Game imeanza sasa, game imeanza. Senate imeimpeach Gachagua. Game imeanza. Game imeanza. Usidhani uko safe, Mr. President. Ruto, usidhani uko safe. Me, I voted for you, but I'm now regretting, bana. I'm now regretting this. Huh? Once rains is over and after becomes a burden to everyone. Ni sawa. Ni sawa, umetumia Gachagua vile mnataka. Ni sawa. Wacha turudi koti akaje tamona namna gani. Ni sawa. Venye mnafanya Gachagua, Mr. President, unafanya Gachagua saa hizi. Siasa sio mzuri. It's a bad game. Chunga na wewe. Me, I voted for you here in Siaya. Huh? Mr. President, mimi nilikukampeni hapa Siaya nikakupiga kura mimi mwenyewe. And I stand with you. Huh? Lakini kitu umefanya Gachagua, my friend, no problem. Huh? Karma is a bitch.
So if you regret like this man, tell us in the comments down below, why do you regret voting for William Ruto?
Me, I voted for you, but I'm now regretting, bana. I'm now regretting this.
It is only a few years to Kenyan elections, 2027, and currently Kenyans are tired, and it seems like they will be sending so many politicians packing. So many politicians will be going back home. Take a look at this video of this member of parliament lecturing Kimani Ichung'wah and his team.
Mheshimiwa Ichung'wah and your team, I want to tell you for free, you will never see power again after Ruto goes home. Mutakuwa mkionea huo uongozi na power kwa view sasa. Na tutawaambia ukweli mchana na hatutaki nyenyenye. La mwisho, the government of the day, you are killing devolution. No wonder President William Ruto, you voted no during the referendum. You didn't want this country to be devolved. That's why when you have gotten to power, the county governments cannot get money for development, for drugs, for the people in Kenya. We demand devolution is here to stay and must be protected accepted. It's not a favor, and money being released to all the 47 counties for Kenyans to get service. We don't want your shenanigans of impeachment so that we can forget about Adani Group, we can forget about not sending money to the counties, we can forget you are not employing teachers, you are just there to make sure that Kenyans are oppressed and oppressed and oppressed. We want to say this, 2027, freedom is coming tomorrow. Mheshimiwa Kioni, nikipita hapo nitakuwa nimekukosea. India Secretary General.
So apart from Kimani Ichung'wah, which other politician would you like to go home?
Mheshimiwa Ichung'wah and your team, I want to tell you for free, you will never see power again after Ruto goes home.
As you all know, Israel has committed war crimes. And did you know that the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga, is being protected by Israelis? Listen to this.
Ataunganisha Afrika. Yes. Raila anachezanga mchezo. Raila never wants to be the president. Raila anachezanga mchezo ndio akule nje kuliko ndani. Tenda zote anapata na hawajibiki. Mimi have worked with Azimio, I know. Mimi niliona wale Maisraeli watatu ambao walikuja hapa Supreme Court because wake nini ambao walikuja kuchocheza majudges. Niliende AIC Kibira Church kuambia Raila kina mdomo bagi alinifukuza. Nikakuja nikaambia baadaye Sheikh Sisi na cheki endelea. Raila's security guard has been trained in Israel. Why? Why will Israel protect you if you are an enemy?
Lakini sinasemekana yule
nani?
Sitaki kama mtoto wake yule mwenye anakuanga Israel. Security.
No, but why Israel? I don't know other countries which can provide security. Why Israel?
Why?
You guys, you don't know what is going on.
But the story of security from Israel, nimesikia mara mingi sana.
In the last national prayer breakfast, there's a rabbi that I know. He's called Rabbi Netanyahu. He's married to one of the Israeli envoys, and he's a former military personnel. And he was supposed to lead the prayers for the Jews at the national prayer breakfast. I walked up to the director of Mr. Oven. I told him this cannot be allowed. A guy who is killing children and women cannot lead our prayers. But mzuri alichelewa. Kama sivyo kungekuwa na nini moja kubwa sana. No, I was ready to go.
Awesome, me too. I would have been there.
I would have need in front of Ruto. Mimi sitaki kujua. Utatuombeshaje na wewe ni mtu ambao huo watoto?
Bravo.
True.
Just because that you today are a rabbi. Who told you you are a rabbi? You don't have other rabbis. Why is it that by coincidence he's an Israeli envoy? He's married to an Israeli envoy.
What a coincidence.
And he's a military personnel. And then Kenya does not have Jews, so why should he be allowed to pray?
A Kenyan political analyst, Herman Manyora, explains to us on why some Kenyan politicians have destroyed their careers. And why is that? Some of them took part in impeaching the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Just listen to this.
The impeachment was childish. So let's not talk about anybody. Even the senators trying to bring out the support, they were at the pains and they looked stupid and they knew it. They looked so bad, especially intelligent people. When God has given you a brain, I keep telling even my students, when God has given you a brain, you have to be very careful. The moment you are engaging in something, you are even ashamed yourself, you feel stupid. That's what it was coming out. So you cannot say there was anything Sifuna was defending or explaining. There was nothing to defend. There was nothing to explain. I better keep quiet and even walk out of that chamber than open my mouth and make a fool of myself. But why am I singling out Sifuna and Otiende Amolo? Otiende Amolo has a small ground in Nyanza, a very tiny ground in Rarieda, where he's unmatched. But within the wider space of Luo Nyanza, he's nothing. They are heavyweights. Sifuna, a name Sifuna even in Western, who is Sifuna? But at the national level, Otiende Amolo and Sifuna have a serious constituency, have a serious following of people who believe these are very, very intelligent, serious future leaders. And then, so that constituency is the one I'm talking about, which is Sifuna and Otiende Amolo are allowing themselves to lose. So for Sifuna, he starts in a unique way into leadership of this country. He starts at the top. And once the Luya nation realizes, this star there is ours, then they own him. Then, pop, the sky is the limit. The same for Otiende Amolo. Watch is what Babu is playing at. You see, Babu is trying to merge the two.
Yeah.
He has a name at the national level, especially with young people. He has now moved on the ground to create a following on the ground in Luo Nyanza. Now to merge with the national thing, and Babu will go very far. Take it from me. And that is the route I thought Sifuna would be intelligent enough to see.
So many abductions have been taking place in Kenya. And do all politicians or some politicians who are in power, do they have their own mercenaries? Do you have people that they hire to go and abduct people and even worse, kill people? Just listen to this.
Every political leader in the world has a squad of people who kills for him or her. If you didn't know, please know. Na msome history, comparative history ya dunia. We have presidents in this world who even have squad that kill their enemies from whichever corner of the world they are. Na atakufuata na atakuua. They will follow you and they kill you. In the name of getting that seat. I want to sit on the right. I want to sit on the left. But she is my block. So, Aodolewe, remove her. Removing her includes even killing. That is called selfishness. We can become great, not by breaking others, by actually elevating others. True greatness comes when we elevate others.
This is a very serious conversation. So tell us what you think in the comments down below about this, about the abductions, the killings, and the tortures that have been happening. Are our politicians behind it?
We have presidents in this world who even have squad that kill their enemies from whichever corner of the world they are. Na atakufuata na atakuua. They will follow you and they kill you.
Kenyans, did you know that American rapper 50 Cent came to Kenya 12 years ago under the World Food Program? He went to Kibera. But since that time till date, nothing has changed. Because of the corruption that took place at that time and the corruption that is currently taking place till today. Just take a look at this.
12 years ago, Octopuzzo hosted 50 Cent in Kibera.
Wanted to see the fight against hunger firsthand. So in early 2012, he flew to the Horn of Africa to see WFP's work there. He's already part of the fight against hunger because he's donating to WFP money from the sales of a new energy drink called Street King. For every unit sold, he has pledged to donate a meal to a hungry child.
I provided 3.5 million meals, but I'm gonna do a lot more before I'm done. I'm shooting for 1 billion meals. You know, I'm trying to work it out. And I get a chance to influence some of my peers and other young entrepreneurs to do the same thing, so be able to affect things in a major way.
During his trip, Jackson went to a school in a Nairobi slum where WFP provides meals every day. He met children, many of them orphans, and saw how their daily meal was cooked. This nutritious lunch helps them to concentrate in class. And for many of these children, it may be the only meal they get in the day.
I'm just excited to be able to have an organization that actually is reaching the people. It's really important for me, like my project, and this is confirmation of that.
Jackson clearly enjoyed his time with the kids at the school, and they were clearly charmed by him.
So the question of the day is a referendum coming to Kenya very soon? Take a look at this video, just listen to it carefully and tell us what you think about it in the comments down below.
Looking at a referendum next year, by all means. The way they've taken this impeachment hurriedly, they will take us through the steps of a referendum so quickly, we shall create the post of Prime Minister properly.
I told you.
It will be given to Baba because AUC is gone. Ilienda Djibouti Kitambo. And that's when now I think things will begin to settle. Yeah.
And that is when 2027 campaigns will begin after Baba is
and I know
Prime
the
Minister.
deputy that William Ruto would have loved if he had his way was Mudavadi. I usually tell people he's with the deputy you gave him, but he always comes close with the deputy that he loves. Musalia Mudavadi. This other one is the one that you gave him through the ballot. And me, I see a reincarnation of what was the Pentagon. Only that now Balala is replaced by Joho. But Pentagon has come back in its complete sense and the way it was. And Mount Kenya, prepare yourself. It's now you versus Pentagon.
Who replaces Joe Nyaga?
Who? You know, Joe Nyaga could not have won any seats in Mount Kenya. It's just like Ishungwa. Joe Nyaga hata kwa hangechaguliwa na ODM. So it's the same here. There's Ishungwa there.
Alikuwa Pentagon.
Alafu no, there's Ishungwa there. There's Kindiki. And then kuna bonus unapewa free. Hawajiko. Unapewa kama free. Yeah. Assistant Pentagon member.
A Kenyan advocate by the name of Ndegwa Njiru, he went to eat his lunch, and at the same time he also had a message to Kenyan people, and also specifically to the President of Kenya, President William Ruto. Just listen to what Advocate Ndegwa Njiru had to say.
Mtu ni fake kabisa. Hizi kaa kule githeri kama hizi. Tunakulanga githeri kama hii. Aidha ni wakati wa siasa ama si siasa. Mimi najua Wakenya sijui mnarogangwa na nani. Huyo ni nani mnatrustingi ati anaweza wasaidia hii Kenya? Mimi nimekaa hapa Ukunda, nimetoka Mombasa jana, the whole safari sijapata hata excavator moja hata kwa barabara. Huyo Kenya bwana. Hii nchi iko na shida. Hii nchi iko na shida. Watu wako na shida mingi sana, nchi iko na shida. Na lazima tujikakamue. Tutoe huyu jamaa State House. Huyu Ruto lazima aende, apende asipende. One term, apende asipende. Na tunajikakamua na tunangangana. Na nimefika hapa Ukunda leo, watu wanasema huyu jamaa amewachokesha vibaya sana, vibaya sana. Na tutangangana naye mpaka tumtoe. Tutafanya maandamano. Huyu jamaa ni fake. Wacha tu mimi nikule githeri yangu tu hapa kiasi. Mimi najua Ruto pia ataanza kukula githeri na ataanza kuonekana kunywa machai na mikate hapa pale na kufanya kampeni kwa maana sana. Bure kabisa. Bure. Kenya she must unite against Ruto. Ruto and Raila. That is the Kenyan curse. Asante.
So this man deploys a military, watu wako na makombora, against people whose only weapon is a hashtag. A couple of people get killed, and then he goes on national television to say he has no blood on his hands. This is some diabolical shit. Alafu utapata delinquents 2027 wakimkampenia tena. Yo.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
We are coming for you.
From Uhuru Kenyatta supporting Gen Z.
My Gen Z, nyinyi ndio the story of the future.
Parliament of Kenya, we are coming for you.
To Kop Shakur released.
Chef, I'm out. Baada ya kulwa na chao kidogo.
Who killed Richard Otieno?
That was a true Kenyan patriot who was championing for good governance. Richard Otieno, despite being a Luo, was very active in Molo.
Elderly women protests.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today, and my name is Elvis Derry. Kenyans, it is quite clear that holding the government accountable is becoming dangerous day by day. Richard Otieno, who was a strong government critic, fighting for good governance and a better future for Kenya, he was murdered in cold blood. Angry Molo residents decided to take his body to the area MP, Molo MP Kuria Kimani. And some people are saying that Kuria Kimani, Molo MP, he was involved in Richard Otieno's death. Just take a look. The residents fearlessly injected, protesting against the killing of a comrade of a Molo-based activist by the name of Richard Otieno, also commonly known as Molo President. Just take a look. Molo President Richard Otieno, a government critic and a brave activist. He is always there since day one, holding the government accountable and fighting for the rights of Kenyans. Like I was heartbroken, and I'm still heartbroken the time that I learned about his death. But let me tell you, the more you kill the activists, the more you kill the people who are fighting for better governance in this country, the more stronger the people of Kenya are. The more the Gen Zs are becoming stronger and braver. And let me tell you, you will kill the people of Kenya. You will kill us, but you will not kill all of us. The journey still continues. Listen to what Chagama Juice had to say.
A very sad morning. People from my home county, Nakuru, a place called Moro in Elbagon, instead of going to church, they have woken up to demonstrate because of the murder of one Rich Raymond who was brutally murdered usiku wa kuamkia leo akiingia kwake kwa nyumba. Rich Raymond, aka Moro President, has been the biggest critic of the area MP, Kuria Kimani. And he was the Gen Z leader during the finance bill protest. In fact, after that, they were taken to court. You can see him here among the 17 who were alleged that waliongoza the Gen Z demonstrations in Molo yenye ilifanya the area MP home ichomwe. It's so sad such that such young people are being killed because of politics. Kwani tumerudi siasa gani? In fact, the other day, he was being even threatened, screenshots kwa groups zenye niko. Akakuwa threatened by some people we thought they are close to the area MP. Unaona mwingine hapa anamwambia this screenshot, huyu Raymond is really getting out of limits. Let's do something. Kuria Kimani is your agenda. You will be shocked. And Raymond anamuuliza, hey, nimefanya nini bro? Anamuuliza, what is this? This guy was at an event where he was saying how this government is not working na wanadanganywa daily. Are we together? Then anamwambia, what's wrong? Mmezoea muhesh vibaya sana. This round hapana, even you. That clip where he was talking is there. And it's not wrong to criticize the government. It's not wrong to criticize the leaders. Yeah? Even the area OCS alikuwa transferred just because alisema he's receiving a lot of threats ashike watu ambao haoni makosa yao. He had to be transferred some weeks ago. Yeah? Because anakataa instructions from some people who think they are seniors in this government.
A brother, a father, a comrade, and a leader, Richard Otieno, may your soul rest in eternal peace. And for those who did what they did to you, may they never know peace. And for those who did what they did to you, to be honest, Kenyans, we have been pushed to the wall for so long. Those people who are walking around killing innocent Kenyans, abducting innocent Kenyans, torturing innocent Kenyans, they also deserve death. They also deserve to go the same way our comrades, the Gen Zs, have gone. The DCI has summoned 3 Molo MCS and a Safaricom engineer by the name of David Ndengwa, also known as Temesha, in connection with Richard Otieno's murder. Like, I'm just wondering, is the DCI trying to sanitize Molo MP Kuria Kimani? These ugly faces that you see on your screen, these are the ones who have been summoned by the DCI in the connections with the murder. And let me tell you, If these people are truly involved in the murder of Richard Otieno, Gen Zs, Kenyans, it is time to send some serious greetings to these idiots, to these fools, to these imbeciles who are killing our people.
Let's go.
Just listen to what Willis Evans Otieno had to say about our comrade Richard Otieno's murder.
I pass my condolences to the family of Richard Otieno.
Yes.
That was a true Kenyan patriot who was championing for good governance. Richard Otieno, despite being a Luo, was very active in Molo, agitating for issues that affect Kenyans, not Luos. And you noticed even yesterday, the people who came out to demonstrate and to demand for justice for Richard were largely people from the Kikuyu community. So it tells you that our problems are not tribal. Our problems are the failures of a regime. And Richard Otieno is a true embodiment of a Kenyan. Richard did not just die. Richard was killed. He was killed for agitating for good governance. And Richard Otieno had previously indicated those who have been harassing him. So those becomes persons of interest who need to shed light if they have anything to do with the killing of Richard Otieno. Richard did not just die. Richard was killed. And we must learn a very vital lesson from Richard Otieno. At the end of the day, tribe is just but artificial barriers that have been exploited by politicians to divide us. Our problems are not our tribes. Our problems are national. And when it comes to electing a leader, we must look for somebody based on his economic promise. What is he presenting as a solution to our problems today? And that cannot be the tribe of the person. That can only be the content of the person. So we must reject any attempt to turn us into tribe.
Our comrade Richard Otieno has left a very beautiful family behind. May they find peace in their hearts. May they find comfort in their hearts. And may they find strength in their hearts. And may their lives be restored. Kenyans and Gen Zs are with you in these difficult times. In memory of our brother, our comrade, our leader, Richard Otieno, let us all hear his last speech. In his last speech, his last words, he said that Molo Member of Parliament, Kuria Kimani, is persecuting him because of criticizing his bad leadership. Let's listen to this.
Na mimi ndiye yule kijana ambaye mliona kwa TV mara mingi hapa Molo akiwa anashikwa, anawekwa ndani, anatolewa ndani wakati ile maneno ya Gen Z ilikuwa. Na mimi ndio ulisikia mheshimiwa wenu Kuria Kimani akisema niye ni dai ya guko niweko ndani. Wakati ya ile maneno mingi si mnakumbuka? Adoitoni no jie guko kweli. Ne ana ko ya guko kweli. Hapana. Mimi nilikuwa napigania vile Gen Z na Kenya itasonga mbele. Wakati kuna shida lazima tukosoe serikali. Mimi nilimwambia ndugu yangu Kuria Kimani, na najua ni jirani wa hapa, sisi watu wa Molo tukukutuma pale juu ukatimue Gachagua. Hatukukutuma uende ukapeleke finance bill, sijui kuna sha na shisho. Hizo wazazi wetu wanakufa kwa hospitali kwa sababu ya hiyo shida ya shisha. Ni makana ni maeni. Neguo doito. Si wanakufa. Mimi namuomba wakaaji wa area hii, vile Gen Z wameamua Kenya hii mzima, sana hii Molo, munisaidie, na kama kuna mwakilishi wa mbunge hapa, ende amwambie nahitaji kura yake ya kufukuza wasaliti wote hii Molo na Kenya mzima.
After comrade Richard Otieno's death, Molo Member of Parliament Kuria Kimani, he called for a press conference to mourn his death. And I'm just wondering, Kenyans, you know, just listen to what he had to say and tell us in the comments down below what you truly sincerely think about his statement.
May I state that for the record, I have known Richard throughout my political career, and he has been a true champion on issues affecting youth, affecting women, and those less privileged in the society. His contributions to the social-political welfare of the community living within the larger Molo constituency in Nakuru County by extension have been profound and have impacted many lives. I have on various occasions celebrated his contributions to the social well-being of people with great admiration and gratitude. Fortunately, the cruel hand of death has brought us one of Molo's true sons, whose bravery, steadfastness, and courage, even in times of adversity, even when we do not agree with Richard, we admire his courage, steadfastness. And this courage, steadfastness has really been dropped from the great of Molo people, something that touches us in many ways and we deeply regret. May I assure that my constituencies that I have been in communication with the Rift Valley Regional Criminal Investigation Officer, the Nakuru security team, and the Molo security operators, demanding that there should be expeditious investigations into this. And whoever is involved, and I repeat, whoever is involved must and should be brought to justice.
The former president of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, he came on to encourage and urge the Gen Zs to continue fighting the good fight, to continue criticizing the government, to continue holding the government accountable, and to continue fighting for their rights. Let's listen to what he had to say.
My Gen Z, nyinyi ndio the story of the future. Fight for your rights, bwana. Sio kukakaa hapo wakaa hapo mambo mali yenu ichukuliwe na nini, mumeitolea jasho. Msikubali, pambaneni, muhakikishe mumepata haki yenu. Mnasikia nyinyi? Sio kukaa hapo tu, kuna kitu inadumu. But everything is worth a fight for. If you don't fight for it, ikienda mtu asilie. Msimame mupiganie haki yenu. Na mko na hawa watoto wamebaki ambao wako tayari kupigania haki yao. Waungane pamoja nanyi. Can't just stand there and let people take your hard earned sweat. Dunia iendi namna hiyo. Muwe watu ambao hawataogopa, wataishi kama my friend. Ameenda detention, si alitoka na akaendelea na maisha. Hata nyinyi teteeni haki ze. Yeah.
In that case, Kenyans, will it be wrong if the Kenyan people decide to arm themselves? Will it be wrong if the Gen Zs decide to arm themselves? Will it be wrong if Elvis Derry, the Gen Z Minister of Information, decides to arm himself against the evil that is taking place in the motherland? But many people are asking themselves, is Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of Kenya, trying to hijack the Gen Z revolution? Listen to this.
Jomo Kenyatta sort of hijacked the Mau Mau freedom movement. Today, Uhuru Kenyatta, through his daughter Ngina, is trying to do the same, to try and hijack the Gen Z movement. Let me tell you, Uhuru, one thing. Wacha kutubeba. Okay? Wacha kutubima. Sisi si wapumbavu. We are leaderless, but we have got a leadership forum. So, ukifikiria ati Ngina ataingia hapa ati enda ufanye ni Gen Z, sijui nini, usaidiwa na tusaidia na nini? Anatusaidia na nini? Someone with all the opportunities in life. Anakuja kutusaidia na nini? Do you know what we go through on a daily basis? Okay? Do you know what we go through on a daily basis just to make it in life? Okay? So, first and foremost, Ngina, stay away from this thing. We don't want you hijacking our movement. You go and do whatever you want to do. And if you think you're going to vie in politics, I'm telling you personally, I will vie against you in any constituency or county that you try to aspire for. I have no problem. I will be the last nail in the Kenyatta coffin. We have done away with Moi. Kibaki had no interest. Okay? Raila has got no one that can take over from him. So the Odinga family, the Moi family, the Kibaki family have no interest in politics. We are done away with them. Kenyatta family is the only one still interested in politics. We are going to be the last nail in your coffin. So Ngina, stay away from the Gen Z movement. Do whatever you want to do with your life, but stay away from us. This movement belongs to some people. We are not faceless. We have got faces now that we know. So stop trying to say, come and help us. We don't need your help. We are, in fact, we know you and Charlene Ruto are in the same ship. So we don't differentiate between the two of you.
We appreciate the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, encouraging and urging the Gen Zs to continue fighting for better governance and to continue fighting for their rights. But Kenyans, come on, let us just be honest. During Uhuru Kenyatta's time, there were corruption scandals, scandals after scandals. Kenyans, do you remember Pandora Papers? It is still stuck in the back of our minds, still fresh in the back of our minds. It just feels like yesterday. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the former president of Kenya, please make it make sense. We appreciate your support, but to be honest, in your speech, we as the Gen Z can detect and we can feel sinister intentions. Let's listen to this.
After 10 years of economic mismanagement, President Uhuru wants to tell the Gen Zs to fight for your rights. Why now, Mr. President? Could this be a ploy by the broad-based government to hijack the Gen Z movement and maintain your grip on power? Hear me out. Niaje wase, today's Make It Make Sense is dedicated to former President Uhuru Kenyatta, a man who took over the presidency when President Kibaki's national debt only stood at 1.89 trillion Kenya shillings. 10 years later, President Uhuru quadrupled this and left us with a staggering 9 trillion Kenya shillings in debt. For the Gen Z and the youth of Kenya, this massive debt meant fewer job opportunities to develop ourselves. And why is it so? Because the government reduced spending on development projects, effectively robbing us of jobs and a brighter future. If President Uhuru had fought poverty and empowered the youth during his tenure, just like President Kibaki did, we would not be in this mess. So, why is President Uhuru telling us to fight for our rights? These words of wisdom look like a red herring, a well-planned strategy by the political elites through the broad-based government to control and kill the Gen Z's movement. Let me break it down. Remember Lee Njiru's words when he said, politicians are like wolves and we, the voters, are their food. These wolves, our political elites, are from the same family. They were together in KANU, then in the Ruto and Jubilee governments, later in the handshake, and now under the broad-based family. And here's the kicker. On June 25th, 2024, these elites almost lost their power to the Gen Z movement. So now, they are regrouping under the broad-based family to reclaim control, possibly by deploying President Uhuru to infiltrate the movement. But here's the deal, guys. Stay vigilant. Not everyone who speaks your language has your best interests at heart. Stay united and focused on the Gen Z agenda, fighting for honesty, accountability, and transparency. Because this is your movement. Don't let anyone hijack it.
In that case, to you all politicians who are trying to hijack the Gen Z movement, the Gen Z revolution, just know that we can smell you from a long distance. We can feel you from a long distance, and we can detect you from a long distance. We as the Gen Z, we have information of each and every one of you, so you cannot come among us and deceive us.
Guys, mmesikia Uhuru ameambia ngina wake ajoin Gen Z na katambia tusiogopeshe. Aaron, Pierre, that's my first oh my goodness. So, does that mean si Uhuru alisuggest Kinali na Kabogo na Mutahi Kagwe? Does that mean hiyo visit ilikuwa ya bure ama alimwambia hao ni watu wakubwa wanaweza jidisaidia? Like what really happened? Anyway, tumeambiwa tusiogopeshwe na to fight for our rights until we get them.
Kabisa.
Me, I'm happy. I am happy. I am happy. Anyway, I don't know if I'm happy because of that or I'm just happy. I don't know, but I'm happy.
Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Jesse Buddy. I needed that smile. Man, I needed just to laugh a little bit because let me tell you, this government, these corrupt individuals, these murderers who are walking among us are making the people of Kenya, the Gen Zs, and I myself, angry every day. Thank you for the smile, Gen Z Buddy.
Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Oh my goodness.
In Nyeri, there was some altercation after the former Monkey leader, Maina Njenga, stormed and disrupted a prayer meeting being conducted by Pastor Dorcas Rigathi at the Kamkuji grounds. Sources say that Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, also the wife of the former deputy president, the former impeached deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, was forced to leave the prayer event. Let's take a look at how things unfolded.
Na tuana makehikania Jehova na me mawira-ini muthamaki na mena mĩciĩ yao. Ngai witũ no tũgagũcokeria ngatho.
In every action, there's always a meaning behind it, and sometimes it might be good or bad. So Kenyans, if you ask yourselves, when the former Mungi leader stormed Pastor Dorcas Rigathie's prayer meeting, what was his intentions? What was the motive behind it? Listen to this.
What Maina Jenga has done today in Mount Kenya, let me tell you something. And this is, take this from me. He is sasa ni vita ya entities, spiritual entities. I am telling you. Hapa sasa imevuka border. Two entities cannot survive in Mount Kenya. One entity has to leave. The true entity, the true spiritual entity, itajulikana ni gani Mount Kenya. Hapa na mtaniambia, hapa kuna vifo. Na si za binadamu, si mtu kuuliwa na mtu. Here they are going to be deads. Hapa. This is a battle of gods. Mungu atajulikana Mount Kenya. Mungu atajulikana Mount Kenya.
So Kenyans, in your honest opinions, tell us in the comments down below what you think about former Mungi leader storming and invading Pastor Dorcas Rigathie's prayer meeting. Do you think what he did was wrong? Or do you think that there should be some amount of respect?
Panapokutana watu kwa maombi, mnapeleka ushetani wenu huko na mnataka tuwaheshimu. Yet the same president huwa anaenda kanisani, anafanya maombi. Don't you have shame, Maina Jenga? Don't you have shame? That was a place of prayer. But for some reason, the entitlement in you could not allow that woman to finish her prayers. And you want us to respect you.
To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed. Like some Kenyans forget easily. Some Kenyans forget way too fast. This is Maina Jenga. And another word, Mungiki and leader. This was a former Mungiki leader. And Kenyans, do you remember the heinous crimes and the atrocities that the Mungiki unleashed on innocent lives, on innocent Kenyans? Families, men, women, and children, they were tortured and murdered in cold blood. Do you remember that? But yet, some idiots, some fools, still cheer him on, still rally around him. Some Mungiki victims are still in pain, they're still hurt, and they're still traumatized till today. For those who lost their loved ones, they're still crying and seeking for justice till today. Justice delayed is justice denied. Just listen to how Apostle decided to talk about Maina Jenga, and he injected without fear of contradiction.
Have hired Maina Jenga to do some dirty work for him in Mount Kenya region. Maina Jenga, I want to warn you, the blood of those people you killed when you were Mungiki leader is still crying for vengeance in heaven. Is still crying for justice in heaven. You left Mungiki, you said you started a church, you said you are born again. And God said, okay, let's see if this man is ready to change. You are not ready to change. Your records in heaven have been reopened. How can you go and attack innocent people who are just gathered to pray? A woman, for that matter, Dorcas, Reverend. How can you do that? Let me tell you this. This is the voice of heaven. If you do not change between now and 27, you are a dead man walking. You are a dead man walking. Because God will strike you. Heaven has not forgotten the innocent people you killed. The women you made widows. The children you made orphans. God has not forgotten. Heaven has not forgotten the violence you meted on people. The cruelty, the murders, the slaughters. And you will pay very dearly for that. So you have two options. Get back to church. If not,
We all know Shakur the cop, a former police officer turned human rights activist. He has always been vocal since day one, fighting for the rights of the Kenyan people, fighting for accountability and fighting for good governance in Kenya. But yet, he's being frustrated by the government. He's being bullied by his own fellow police officers. And those same police officers that are bullying Shakur the cop, they don't see that Shakur the cop is also fighting for their rights. They don't see that. Recently, Shakur the cop was arrested and arraigned at Milimani law courts. But the brave activist, the brave comrade, he went there wearing a pretty t-shirt of Jacob Juma. And Kenyans, let us not forget that Jacob Juma was assassinated by the rogue regime. Listen to what Shakur the cop had to say after his release.
Jambo wa Kenya, safe, I'm out. Baada ya kulwa na chawa kidogo. Kunguni, this is how my face looks like. People should pay for their sins. We still want justice for Jacob Juma and all other Kenyans that have been killed. Viva.
Even Dr. Mumbi Saraki, she was not left behind, and this is what she had to say after Shakur the cop was released.
So family, have you seen how Cop Shakur showed up to Nini today, to court, with the Jacob Juma shirt? Oh my God, the wicked will know no sleep, yo. So of course he was charged with incitement because he put Nabi in a coffin. Go watch my other video earlier today about why he's so sensitive about being put in a coffin anyway. So Shakur was appearing in the courts, and you know, he understood the assignment. I was not familiar with his game, yo. This is the same prison warden who was holding up those placards. I think I'll put some pictures at the end. Hey, the fear is gone. Hey, those are balls, yo. There's a friend of mine, I think her channel is called Zoe or something. Uwe or Zoo or something. Hey, balls of steel.
During the Gen Z protests, Shakur the cop, he went to the parliament building and protested outside the building, seeking justice for those Gen Zs who were killed, who were murdered during the occupation of the parliament. Let's take a look at this video of Shakur the cop injecting on the ground.
Message ni gani bro?
Wanapiga marisasi na tuangalie. Naona hakuna vile mtu anaweza piga mtu marisasi.
Bima hakuna mwavuli extra ya mheshimiwa tujikinge kama watu wa media.
Hapana, unaangalia mtakataka. Hapana, leta pande. Hapa. Chap chap. Kila mtu akilia hapa nani? Una masikio? Kila mtu akilia. Baraka huko ndani.
In Jogo Road, chaos unfolded after traffic was brought to a standstill as elderly women brought their beddings and slept on the road, protesting against the demolition of their houses despite a court ruling to halt the exercise. Like even our elderly mothers are forced to go and protest for their rights. Like, are we really safe from the injustices that is taking place in our motherland? Let's take a look at how things unfolded.
Maandamano imetoka kwenye waandamanaji, imekuja kwa wazazi.
Election season is around the corner, the year 2027, and many Kenyans have applied for ID, and some people have lost their IDs and they need replacement. But it is now, it is taking years, it is taking forever to receive IDs. It is being delayed, and it is being delayed intentionally. Let's listen to what Clinton Degwa had to say about this. Let's listen to his story.
Mimi nimepoteza ID yangu mwaka imepita, sawa. Nimeenda kureplace hiyo ID juzi tu, ati naenda naanza kuitishwa pesa.
Ngapi?
Nilitishwa 1265 shillings.
Na unalipaga tax bado na VAT.
Na mimi ni Mkenya. The same time Goria amefuatana na watoto ni sana mzima, hawana ID. Wanakuja Jondo, wana pesa, wanaenda wanapatiana pesa. Mimi mwenye sina pesa, na mimi ndo Mkenya.
Walipeana kanga ngapi?
Yeye ametoka huko Dadaab huko.
Walipeana kanga ngapi?
Wewe hata ajui maternity alizaliwa. Mimi maziwa wanatoa pesa wanatoa. Na si pesa mchezo. Kwa dhani kupata ID ya Kenya ni rahisi, na wewe si Mkenya. So hii gava inafaa iangalie mtu kama mimi nalipishwaje ID na mimi ni Mkenya. Mimi nimezaliwa hapa Pumuani mimi. So hii serikali iwache mimi kunipima na kwanza kutawaka moto vibaya sana maana mimi sio mjinga. Mimi sio mjinga. Watu si wajinga saa. Yamaje jama.
We are not cooling down any soon. In fact, it might get hotter.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
From Afande Deno arresting a thief,
Najua Afande ni Deno siku zombo na ni utumishi kwa wote,
to overhaul of Kenya Forest Service.
Why is one of Kenya's source of water supplying millions, including Nairobi, under threat?
When does the president work?
I feel like this guy doesn't spend time working. You get?
Kenyans turned into beggars.
Parliament, we are coming. We are coming for you. We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today and my name is Elvis Derry. The question of today is, what time or when does the president of Kenya sit in office and work? Listen to this.
My problem with this presidency is I feel like this guy doesn't spend time working. You get? There's always something that he's saying. Like, bro, even as a man, you can't keep that many promises. Do you understand? Like, how about you have 3 days where you actually, we don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're in office chilling. You get? Because, bro, every fucking day, there's something. There's something, brother.
I think this guy is not stupid. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. This, of course, is way above my pay grade. I'll say that. But the optics don't look that great. But he knows what he's doing.
Just as G was saying, bro, you can't be tone deaf to what's going on,
Yes.
right? We have a
Facts.
medical system that's not working.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with
you
you.
understand?
I'm with
My
you.
friend was telling me about the mom needs to go for operation, and they were supposed to sort it out, and they've refused because there's a lot of, and that's a lot of people going through this, right?
Yeah.
That system is a priority.
Yes, it
you
is.
get?
Yes,
like
it is.
if I was him right now, I would fix that. Fix that.
Yes.
On a serious note, Kenyans, when does the president really work? Or do we even have a president in this country? Listen to this.
When is Kasongo working? Kasongo has been reduced to become his communication and PR team. Kasongo is always responding. Why are you explaining to us for how Taifa Care is working? Sawa, you're the PS, you're the CS, you're the in charge of health, you are in charge of youth innovation or youth creativity. Sasa umeenda Grammys, you're in charge. Why can't you let the respective ministries and the respective people who've been appointed to do these things, let them do? You preaching how something is working, talking about it in churches yesterday all over the country, endorsing people to talk and retalk, and now our kids, when we take them back to school, they have to what is it called? We have to be on board your project. I don't know if it's Shift, Sha or Taifa Care. I really even don't know how it works, and I don't even have the time to do it, because if it's not working, why am I boarding? Why? Somebody please explain to me, why are we boarding on things that are not working? You cannot be reduced constantly to responding and responding and responding. Can you do your work, and the relevant people in charge of this ministries or dockets will do the responding, and you have a communications and PR team that clearly you're also in charge of, because it is failing you miserably, because they should be the ones painting your tainted image, and they're not doing it because guess who's in charge? You are in charge.
As Kenyans are baffled, asking themselves, where is the president and what time does the president really work? I want to show you guys of a rare video of how the president, your president, spends most of his time. Take a look.
Ruto ako wapi? Ako hapa. Ndio ule. Kasongo yeye.
A well-known and great police officer by the name of Afande Deno has made headlines after he caught a criminal stealing solar panel from a billboard owned by Adsight, an advertisement company. Just take a look at how things unfolded.
Tunasema shughuli ni gani uni Afande Deno, na kila siku mnamwambiangaje makajana usipojituma utatumwa, si ndio? Bazenga tumempata juu ya billboard huko juu, top of the top, tuko juu. Na billboard na believe ni ya Adsight. So kijana alikuwa anapiga shughuli pale hivyo, ilikuwa imefunguliwa, nilikuwa nataka kuingia ndonyo, si ndio? Tumemshika, tumemweka machengerezi, tuko shughuli, tukomboka kila siku hapa na kijana kwangu anatangwa dash, kijana kujituma, si ndio? So mimi naambia kama kijana waondokea crime. Crime doesn't pay. Unaona Bazenga? Aina kulala tu ndino, si ndio? So wase wangu wa Adsight, hii billboard yenu iko hapa from GM, Mombasa from GM. Mumeka hiyo whatever ya Jambo Jet. Advert ya Jambo Jet. Hii shughuli ni yenu, tumetoa hapo. Bazenga alikuwa hapo juu, alikuwa anajaribu kusongana. Najua Afande ni Deno siku zombo na ni utumishi kwa wote, tumeamua kutumikia nani? Huyu kijana unaona vizuri, hatujamguza, hatujampanguza, tumemshughulikia vizuri. Hiyo ndio utumishi kwa wote, ndio community policy. Na pia wase wa Adsight Advertisement Company tumewapigia shughuli moja safi. Hii kitu haijakufa, wamulikia cameraman. Karibia, usiogope kitu. Unaona vizuri hii haijakufa. Jamaa tumemwekea makachengerere, tunaenda pale kumbuku, tumweke into books.
We need more police officers like Afande Deno, serving the people of Kenya, protecting our communities and fighting crime in our communities. I want to show you guys of a video of a young man who was conned, and just listen to how he narrated his story.
Kumeenda aje? Napanda hivi. Mseko mbele yangu anakusha makapa. Mwenye kunyuma wangu anakuja anachukua anishow aje. Simseti kwetu tugawiane. Sisi tunaenda hivyo. Mwenye ameangusha anakuja anatufuata, anasema atushuka. Sisi tunamwambia kuna mmoja mwingine basi amechukua, anarudi. Mwenye kaoneza makapa ananipei. Hiyo mwingine anakuja kukujia. Sasa tunajifanya
watu mbili.
Nasema aje? Naambia mjamaa aje, huyu ni fundi aenda kutengenezea simu, sinamwekea password.
Ati nikutumie.
Mwenye ameangusha ndio anatishwa aje tuachanishe, tuache shughuli, tumeona kugawiana ndio. Sisi tunaachana hivyo, penje inaenda.
Penje yako sasa?
Penje yangu sasa.
Wameichukua aje?
Nimempea nikamwekea password.
Kwa nini umempatia password?
Tulikuwa tumeagana aje aseme yeye ni fundi ameenda kutengenezea. Ndio mwingine achaina. Mwenye ameangusha ndio achaina sisi.
So umepatia na simu yako bure? Ndio wamekupatia nini? Wamekupatia nini? Onyesha na hiyo kitu. Hii. Ndio ume-exchange la.
Hapa ndio tume-exchange.
Okay.
Ndio umefunga. So mimi
sina hiyo simu yako. Unajua police station?
Ya kilo. Ndio vya askari hiyo story. Walai. Bye.
A conservationist by the name of Dr. Isaac Kalua Green, he has called for the overhaul of Kenya Forest Service, citing that they have failed to protect the country's forests. Listen to what Dr. Isaac Kalua Green had to say.
The trees that are cut in our forests, the timber that is produced to do the biggest construction, just because someone is in authority as a chair of Kenya Forest Service, conservator being misused. In fact, I should be calling for those people, sincerely speaking, to resign if we have to change the culture of our country. Because all that these people have been doing is known. It is bare. Charcoal is moving from different places every single day. Teak wood and trees that are so precious for this country of medicinal value are being exported out of this country. Just because it is your time, inakuwa ni wakati wako wa kukula. I think this has come to an end. I started this war when I was a young man, and I think time has come. At my old age, where I am, I determined it as old. I think we must just do what is right for God's glory.
Dear Kenyans, our forests are under threat. This means that the indigenous natural vegetation, even the animals that call the forests home, are all under threat. Deforestation without afforestation. Just listen to this.
Why is one of Kenya's source of water, supplying millions, including Nairobi, under threat? A road.
A road called Mau Mau that has been approved by the government of Kenya will be passing through the heart of Aberdare Forest. This means 286 acres of indigenous and natural vegetation will be cleared. How does this align with the initiative to plant 15 billion trees?
Endangered species will face a greater risk. Increased human-wildlife conflict will disrupt their habitats, pushing them to closer extinction.
It will further expose the forest to development, land grabbing and logging, compromising the water sources and offsetting the irreplaceable benefits of this ecosystem.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
A video has been trending from Kisii County, where the residents there lined up to receive unga for Christmas from their governor, Honorable Simba Arati. Kenyans, just take a look at this nonsense.
Mtu aliwa anaona sama tanga. Mtu aliwa anaona sama tanga mama hata biko tebanga mbele tiyare wote. Mitai bimbi go eta ngaba na Simba Arati to bwata. Eta ya busi. Bujamono. Abana batata. Simba Arati agendelele Nyasaye. Aba malaika watana kalitu amo nainwe. Masata we. Wana masata yosimba no masata maremu.
In this video, I don't see the youths there. I don't see the Gen Zs there. What I am only seeing is the beggars. Like, this clearly shows you that the leaders are not the problem, but it's the people, the citizens who are the problem. We seriously need more civic education in our communities.
Kuna uzingiri fulani nimeona kwa hii nchi. Yani politician wanataka wa turn into beggars ili muweze kuwawashi. Kiangalia uzingiri mkalenjini hata mwenye hajesoma. Anatumia hiyo opportunity ya watu kuwa maskini kufanya watu wa glorify. Jamaa amefanya wamama wazee bwana, wamama rika ya shosho yake ati wanapanga line ati wapatie food. Sasa hiyo ni uzingiri gani? Yaani ama politician wanatakanga tubaki poor ili tuendelee kuwa beg. Lakini ukiangalia countries zenye ziko led tu vizuri, country kama Japan, unapata kila mtu ako na do. Hakuna mtu anaenda kupanga line kwa politician ati apewe food, alafu ndiye aanze kuwa praise akiwapigia makofi kila mahali. Hii nchi yenyewe Zakayo ametani nchi into a country of beggars.
While the beggars are receiving unga from their governor, let us all go to Nairobi City, in Karen, around Bomas Galleria, where a road has been flooding and has flooded for several days, and yet nothing has been done. The gross oversight has not yet been rectified. Like, where is the governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja? Where is Kenha? Where is Kura Roads? Like, what is happening in Kenya? Take a look at this video.
Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni Karen. Sakaja Bay. Manze. Enya Nairobi jo. Nairobi za ghetto. Na hii place kuna ngata footpath. Unang'ang'ana tu na magari katikati ya barabara ndio uvuke barabara. Hapa ni Karen.
Kenyans, my fellow Kenyans and my fellow Gen Zs, the fear is gone. The fear is totally gone and the clouds are gathering.
William Ruto, that somebody is stupid, somebody is selfish, somebody mwenye anajipenda yeye na tumbo yake. And then you have your girlfriends like Kimani Chungwa na Kithure Kindiki wenye umeweka mbele are supporting everything stupid that you are saying. And you are calling yourself a president. The worst nightmare that this country has ever faced, the worst nightmare that we have faced as a country in Kenya is having William Samoei Ruto as the president.
That you're gassing us, these Ruto boys. Hey, we'll find you in 2027, Ruto. We'll be there, of course. We are fighting for our own generation. We want all the taxes to be removed. We don't want any tax. We don't want any tax. Mkate mnapandisha juu. Ng'ombe mnapandisha juu.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Parliament, we are coming. We are coming for you. We are coming for you.
From farmers being charged.
Another bill has been presented in Parliament, the Horticulture Crop Authority Bill.
To pastors and opposition leaders put on blast.
Sasa ile sisi tunaenda kudemonstrate, hamukwa anywhere.
Do you trust the leaders in power?
Gachagua anataka mnagawana nusu nusu. That is the only fight they're having.
Say no to sympathy votes.
Raundi hakuna kitu kama sympathy vote. Hakuna.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? My fellow Gen Zs and Kenyans at large, welcome back to ShowNewTrend, and I'm your host of the day. My name is Elvis Derry. I know many of you are wondering, like, where did this guy go? But in short words, this is how my week looked like. Back to business. Bills are being passed in Parliament left to right. And some of those bills, to be honest, are very, very evil. And the question of the day is, why are they legislating on all our food crops? Listen to this.
My Kenyan people, focus. Okay, focus. Stop the sideshows. We are up for an auction. Wake up, guys, and see what is going on. Another bill has been presented in Parliament, the Horticulture Crop Authority Bill, that requires even a farmer to be registered to be able to plant crops, to plant vegetables, skuma, terere, cabbage. You must be registered. For you to be part of the chain process, the buying from the farm, supplying to the market, down to the consumer, you need to be registered to do that in a county, in a county government. Guys, they're coming for everything. Let me tell you, the day GMOs were legalized in this country, a floodgate of bills were going to follow. All these bills you're seeing that are happening, they are happening to take over food sovereignty and food security in this country.
A billionaire like Bill Gates, he's using all his money not for good, but for evil. Our farmers, not only in Kenya, but in Africa, they're under attack. Listen to this and just open your eyes and open your minds and just listen to what this man had to say about this.
He got a hold of the regulatory agencies in African countries and forced them to to change the nature of agriculture. You know, there's 20,000 generations of agriculture of people growing crops like sorghum and plantains and yucca and all these plants for subsistence. And he said, no, we're going to transfer them all to these, GMO monocultures of corn, and then we're going to bring in the companies that he owns, Kraft, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, these big food companies, processing companies, to buy that, and that's going to be the deal. And then, of course, during COVID, all of that shut down, and you had, there's 30 million Africans now as a direct result of Gates' policy who are now on the edge of starvation.
And if we don't be vocal about these things, like things are getting worse day by day. Right now, like people are supposed to pay, like the farmers are supposed to pay. Gone are those days where you can just wake up in the morning, go to your farm, take some fruits, some vegetables, go and cook in your house or go and sell in the market. Just listen to how people are being extorted in this country.
So, have you had the latest? Farmers will be needing 5,000 shillings to get certified to practice farming in Kenya for fruits and vegetables. Now, the 5,000 shillings is not even the big deal. The big deal is they'll need to pay another 2,500 for soil tests. They'll need to pay another 4,700 for water tests. They'll need to pay 60,000 Kenyan shillings for pest control board. They will also need to, for them to get this 5,000 bob certification, they will also need to go through a 2-year training where they will pay 15,000. Now, where do you come in? If you buy from a farmer who is unlicensed, who has not gone through all those steps, you could get jailed. So they want to criminalize the fruits and vegetables enterprise, and that could affect about 3 to 4 million farmers in Kenya who are growing the fruits and vegetables, because it's not possible for them to pay all that, especially when it comes to the 2-year training where you're paying 15,000, 60,000 to the pest control. I mean, that is too much. And knowing how nepotism and tribalism in Kenya works, when you apply for these 5,000 Kenya shillings to get the license, what are the chances you'll be among the farmers? Will be amongst the farmers who will get the license in the first place. Now, we are going back to the days when colonialists were here, when they would determine which Africans were worthwhile to grow tea, coffee, any farming that was large scale that would bring income. The white people had, or the colonialists had put in a bureaucratic system that made sure that Africans were not licensed or were not allowed and did not meet the criteria to grow the cash crops. Now we are doing that with our food.
Not only our farmers are under threat, even the same lands that they are using to plant our foods here in Kenya are also under threat. Listen to what Martha Karua had to say about our lands in Kenya.
Cases of land grabbing are also on the rise, with both private and public land being targeted. The state appears to be under the control and capture of corruption cartels.
That is why currently everybody in Kenya are very vocal about Ruto must go and Gachagua must go. Listen to what our brother here had to say about these two individuals who are in power.
Adani Airport, he can be taking 250 billion, yeye anachukua maybe 200 billion, then anapea Gachagua maybe 1 billion. Hapana, Gachagua anataka kama munauza Adani, because both are equal, hapo munajua venye nasema, both are equal, bad guys. Kama munauza Adani Airport 250 billion, Gachagua anataka munagawana nusu nusu. That is the only fight they're having. The formula of sharing the route. That's the only problem they're having with Gachagua. And even Ruto knows that even if he comes 2027 back, he will not have a comfortable time again with Gachagua. Because kama watauza KICC, wauze maybe 38 billion. Gachagua anataka 19 billion, Ruto achukue 19 billion. Ruto does not want that. There's a guy in Jacaranda, akiongea, alisema, mufanye mistake kidogo hivi, murudishe Ruto 2027, mutakuwa. And that is the plan.
Nini nawaambia 2027 Ruto akipita, na anajua ni tamu yake ya mwisho, atatuchinja sisi wote.
Kenyans, do you see where tribal votes and sympathy votes take this country to? It is taking us straight to the gutter. And it's time to say no and let us vote with wisdom and understanding. So listen to this.
Raundi hakuna kitu kama sympathy vote. Hakuna. Munakumbuka 2018 mkikuja hapa mkisema nyinyi munajua kuhaso ni kusema nini? Munajua venye mtu anaungwaka na jua akiuza, munajua venye mtu ananyesheagwa, munajua venye mtu anahangaika akihaso. Tukafikiria tumechagua wetu mwenye anajua shida. Lakini si mulienda huko juu mkatusahau sisi wenye tunahaso. Mukatutupa na mukatutenga na mukatusahau kabisa. Raundi hakuna kitu kama sympathy vote. Endeni mukapigania huko, mulikuja hapa mukasema mumetengwa tukawahurumia venye mulikuwa munalia. Sasa tena mumekuja tena mumepigana. Piganeni hata mkitaka kuuana muuane. Lakini hatuwahurumii. Hata ukuja kama umejipaka mafi useme wewe ndio unakuamwaga siweji zote Kenya. Ama unaoshaga mtaro, hatukupei kura zetu bure, hata ulie machozi ya aina gani. Raundi hakuna sympathy vote. Munaenda huko juu mnatusahau. Hebu ona venye tunateseka, hebu ona venye tunangangana na maisha. No.
Let us take a short break. We're gonna be right back.
Henju 以前我姐妹来以为牛孩，朋友我告诉你，那时候我真的好帅。然后我就问他美女，你今天怎么样？然后他告诉我帅哥，我爱你怎么办？我就笑，然后我加他的微信，他给我他的手机扫描他的微信。晚上我在家跟他说话，跟他聊天，我们一起谈谈。他是摩他，以为摩他，我爱摩他，以为摩他，他是摩他，我爱摩他，摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他摩他
wanauliza kama Kenya kuko sawa, nikawajibu Kenya tuko na disaster, watoto wetu wanazidi kuzikana, na Tomboya ameshika tama, alituacha kama angali kijana.
This man is awesome. Oh my God. Let's welcome Broski Albistelli.
Our Kenyan farmers are being punished by this corrupt regime, even though they strive every day from morning till evening on their farms. But yet their efforts and hard work are not being appreciated. Listen to what the Village 254 had to say about how our farmers are being oppressed.
By the way, something is very wrong with our country. Can you imagine? They will charge farmers almost 10,000 to give them license to farm fruit and vegetables. They will charge farmers 60,000 to get license or permit for pest control. You're being punished to eradicate pests. Why are you punishing people providing food for this nation? What's happening, by the way, in our farming industry. Because from yesterday, we've been talking about this over legislation of farmers and farming and seeds and everything, animals and so on and so forth. What's happening? I can tell you what is happening. Globalists. And it's only globalists who want to control. They've been controlling business for the longest. Now they have gone down to the farmers. Who has done all this? President William Ruto. He has sold our country, its soul and everything else, to the globalists.
Not only our farmers, our foods, and also our lands is being attacked. Even the affordable housing that Kenyans are being promised every day are also not in safe hands. Listen to this and just listen to what this woman had to say.
Hapa ni nyumba ya affordable housing opposite Kariako. Nimekuja kuchunguza ni akina nani waliuziwa kabla ya nyumba kukamilika. Nimepata report hii nyumba imeuziwa. The majority people are able people, rich people. And the houses were made for middle class and lower. And now I'm here to record of what is happening. Wakenya wanatoswa levies za housing. Hawajapata any unit, but kupitia uchunguzi wangu Park Road iliusiwa Matachiri, na hii ya opposite Kariako imeusiwa Matachiri. And this is the report I've gotten through my investigation. Serikali inafaa isimamishe wale wote walilipa pesa warudishiwe, ili Mkenya wa kawaida yule alikuwa ametoswa levies apewe unit. That is my report.
During the protest, so many people lost their lives and others even got damaged severely. And later on, you saw like some pastors and some bishops, they went to State House to meet the president. And those same people, they never demanded justice for our people. Listen to what our brother had to say about some pastors who are not walking in God's light. Listen to this.
Kenyan pastors, unaona vile mmenyamaza hivyo? Nyamaza, mnyamaze kabisa. Unaona vile mmepotea hivyo? Potea na mpotee kabisa. Hataki kuwaona tena, hataki kusikia anything from you people. Nyinyi ni mafala na nyinyi ni wajinga namba moja mmekuwa mnatumia sio Kenya. Sasa ile sisi tunaenda kudemonstrate, hamukuwa anywhere. Tukakuja tukapiga kelele, hamukuwa anywhere. Then after that, nyinyi mkaenda State House mkapewa pesa, mkakula, mkajifanya sijui ndo mnaongea na president, sijui mnaongea on our behalf of which hatukuwatuma, mkapewa mabahasha za brown, mkarudi kwa makanisa yenu, mnakula mapesa zenu huko, mnakula sadaka ya wenyewe, mnakula mabibi za watu. Sasa hizi mmenyamaza when wa Kenya wanaumia. You people are nowhere right now. And then sasa tutarudi kudemonstrate tena. Sasa tutachukua sheria mkononi sisi wenyewe tuanze kutafuta hawa politicians. Ndo mtaanza kutokea, mwanze kusema don't pay evil with evil. Wewe, sasa hizi tumeamua tumefika place tunaenda kupay evil with evil. Sasa hizi mtu akituibia tunaenda kwake, tunachukua chenye alituibia na tunanyang'anya yake yenye alikuwa nayo. Hapo ndo mali tunaenda sasa hizi. Sasa hizi hakuna ile story tulikuwa tunaambiwa ati sijui kipigwa kofi huku hivi tunapeana huku pia pigwe kofi huku. Haya hapana, tumepita hiyo place sasa hizi. Sasa hizi ukinipiga kofi na kupiga ngumi, ukinipiga ngumi na kupiga fimbo. Sasa hizi ndo tumefikia hapo kama wa Kenya. Because hizi stories zenye mapastors mlikuwa mnatuambia stories za kijinga. Na watu walikuwa wanatumia hiyo kitu kutu control na kuteka advantage on us.
So Mr. President, instead of inviting those pastors and bishops who they think they have wisdom but they don't have, invite Kenyans who are suffering, Kenyans who are facing the same problems every day. Invite them. Those are the people who will open your mind and show you what is really happening on the ground. Like our brother here had to say this, had a message to send to the president. Listen to this.
Mimi nataka kuambia Ruto kitu moja. Mimi naweza kuwa personal advisor wake. Sitaki pesa, sitaki gari, nataka tu unisikie. Nataka nikufunze kuna kitu inaitwa frequency. Frequency ni intentions, thoughts na feelings zako uko nazo. Na whatever frequency unapatia raia, hiyo bado ndio itakurudia. Kila mtu anaona wewe ni ignorant. Kila mtu anaona uko na deaf ear. Ile frequency yenye wewe uko nayo ni frequency yenye uliintroduce na watu wako majuu. Invitations za majuu ukienda hizo ofisi au unajua ni nini unaintroduciwa kwa hayo. Unanipata? So wewe unafaa kufanya hivi, unafaa kurudi home kama ni Sigoi. Enda kwanza hata ujaribu ile kitu yenye hujaifanya.
Wenda utoe viatu uingie kwa maji ya nyumbani, uoge na maji ya mtoni, jaribu hata kama utakunywa changa kidogo ya huko, ndi at least hiyo ifungue kitu fulani yenye umefungwa. Either way, ile kitu yenye tunakuambia ni ati tunataka urealign na ile frequency ya watu wenye uko connected nao. Connected with your family, connected with your country. Na zile vitu zote zenye ulifanya, maliza, ulitumia jina ya God. God akaona hapana, huyu kijana wangu anafanya kitu poa sana kwa sababu anatumia jina yangu na anataka kwenda kusaidia watu wangu. Along the way alichanganyikiwa. Amesahau alikuwa anauzaga kuku pale Mile 9, kidogo akajenga kanyumba Sigoi, saizi yako State House. Nini imehappen hapo katikati? Unanipata? So ile kitu yenye tunajaribu kusema ni ati hakuna kitu yenye, hakuna makosa yote Gen Z wako nayo. Gen Z wanakuonyesha hao ni last born wa God, hao ni watu wenye wamelelewa na Google na net, na hao ni watu wanataka kukuonyesha in the next generation yenye inakam. Hatutaki kusikia ati mimi ndazaliwa alafu unasikia ati mimi niko na deni ya kulipa na nalipa deni ya pesa yenye mimi mwenyewe sina. Okay. Unanige?
Nimeshukuru sana ndugu yangu.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this show today, and may God bless you and may God bless our amazing country Kenya. See you guys on the next episode. ShowNewTrend, Elvis Dairy. Bye bye.
This is the middle of a city. Kando ya city katikati.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Dairy. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
We are coming for you.
From Nairobi University on fire.
Hakuna kitu mbaya kama moto.
To Sunday dismantled in Nairobi. Are Kenyans being held hostage?
Kenya has been held hostage. So I told you, one of the biggest implementations this New World Order agenda foresees.
Avia House occupied.
20 patients. We have walked all the way from Kenyatta Hospital, coming here for treatment.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today, and my name is Elvis Dairy. Patients, some of them carrying infants, they stormed Afya House in Nairobi, and they were protesting against the shift system glitches, as hundreds of patients are still stranded. Kenyans are still stranded at Kenyatta National Hospital, and I'm just wondering, what is CS Deborah Baraza doing? Is she really working for the people? Just take a look at how things unfolded.
We are outside there waiting the gate. We are at the gate waiting. 20 patients. We have walked all the way from Kenyatta Hospital, coming here for treatment. From last week, Wednesday, the systems are not working. And I have come here to protest, to say that they are not working. There are patients in the ward who have been discharged and they have not been treated. This man has a child. Come sit here. He has come all the way from Kibwezi. Come and sit here. His child has swollen a coin. From yesterday, he has been waiting for the SHA to work. It is not working. We have, ladies, please, if you want, you can come and join us down there. We have patients who are sitting out there waiting for that SHA, and it is not working. They are not approving. We have walked all the way to NHIF. We have been told that they are unable to access the portal. We have been in Kenyatta waiting for that portal to open, and it is not opening, it is not working. Please be aware, it is not working.
Tunazungushwa tu, can we just get answers surely? Tunaumia. You think coming here tunaumwa, we have to get the courage ufike mpaka hapa.
Yani, Kenyans, you mean to tell me that we have been pushed the wall? The people of Kenya have been pushed the wall to the point where even patients have started activism so that they can access the system and hopefully get treatment. Like, where are we heading to as a country?
System of a downgraded healthcare service pushed sick people to storm into Afya House during a press briefing. A woman who had undergone CS 2 weeks back and developed complications said she couldn't get treatment because of the inner refusal workings of SHA.
I had CS done 2 weeks ago, and then there were some complications. Nikakuja Kenyatta again. Nothing is going to happen unless SHA approves.
GOK is currently offering Schrodinger's healthcare coverage. Many of the patients who don't get pre-authorized end up paying out of pocket or abandoning treatment, and with push coming to CS, having to show up at a press briefing to be listened to.
After patients and infants storming Afya House and protesting against the system glitch, the SHA system glitch, the SHA shift nonsense, CS Deborah Baraza, she came out and said this.
Now, today we have come just to assess the situation following the incidents and the concerns as well as grievances by Kenyans regarding the system interruption. And we acknowledge, yes, there was a system interruption, which is common with any system, as we can see, not only in Kenya, but globally. And so, having identified the system interruption, we've been able to first visit the labor ward as well as the maternity area. We have also seen the billing and discharge area in this facility. And we are happy to report that the system is up and running following great work. There was tireless and endless work among the technical team. I had instructed them to look at interventions to ensure that we don't have any kind of system interruption, have an alternative in case it do so happens. And we are happy to report to Kenyans that yes, we have an alternative system, and we have experienced and seen that there is no system interruption. The incidents occurred on the 14th and 15th up to 10 a.m. and the backlog has been sorted. Patients have again are receiving seamless services, and I want to assure Kenyans that health services will continue in the National Referral Hospital and other facilities, and will ensure that the services are seamless.
Since the protest started, to the point where even the Gen Zs, they stormed the parliament building and set it ablaze, Kenya has gained a lot of international attention. And the question is the international community watching? Are they taking notes? Are they seeing what is happening in the Kenyan politics? Just listen to what Cherina 254 had to say.
So I did a bit of reading on the ICC case that was, on President Ruto, and I just discovered that he was never acquitted. The court actually refused to acquit him, but the case was dismissed for lack of evidence. If I was President Ruto, I wouldn't let Kenya go where it's going, and I wouldn't let uncivilized, uneducated people like Sudi be talking the way they are talking, because Kenya is being watched. I live in the Netherlands and people are talking, and the ICC is watching Kenya. And one thing about a prosecutor, if he didn't catch you the first time, if he has an opportunity to catch you the second time, he's not going to rest. So for President Ruto, people are digging a grave for you. Don't let your loose dogs like Sudi be talking rubbish like that and polarizing the country before 2027. It's going to be trouble for you.
Nairobi City County Chief Officer for Environment, Geoffrey Mosiria, together with this team, they went around at night in Nairobi City removing business signages in the streets. But not so many business owners were happy with these actions. Some of them claiming that those businesses' signages are paid for and who will compensate them? Take a look at some of these scenes of Geoffrey Mosiria and his team removing businesses' signages in the streets.
These are the signage that block watu kupita. Na sasa pembeleza watu. Hii ni Sabina Joy. Sabina Joy wameficha signboard zote. Wameziweka, wamezipanganisha hapa. Wewe, hebu toa hiyo kubwa. Hapo sawa.
After many complaints from business owners, Geoffrey Mosiria, he came out and said this.
Mlisema mnataka CBD kwe safi. Mkasema amtaki kuona uchafu town katikati. Amtaki kuona zile mikokoteni zinafungwa kwa walkway zinawazuia kupita. Amtaki kuona zile masanduku, my illegal structures ziko kwa walkways zimejaa uchafu kila mahali. Kama department ya mazingira chini ya uongozi wa Governor Sakaja tumeamua kusafisha jiji. Tunakuja, tunasafisha, tunatoa all illegal structures. Kuna wengine walikuwa na complain ukitembea town hata some of the signages zimewekwa zinagonga watu vichwa zao. Some of them are illegal. So let me say this. We are going to remove all illegal signages ambazo zinafanya town inakuwa chafu. Watu wameprint paper signages wameweka kila mahali. Kama mtu uko na duka, kwa mlango wako pale kwa mlango, wekila signage yako vizuri. Haja gani kwa walkway unaweka signage ambayo inafika kwa macho ya watu? Even the CCTV cameras, they cannot capture the movement ya surrounding.
After business signages were removed in the streets in Nairobi CBD, this is how Nairobi City looked like the next day. And in another shocking story, Nairobi University was on fire at night. And I'm just wondering, and many people are wondering out there, like, what caused this fire? What was the reason for this fire? And many people have been left speechless. So if you're from Nairobi University, a student from this university, tell us in the comments down below what really happened, what really took place at the university. Tell us some of these scenes of Nairobi University on fire.
Hakuna kitu mbaya kama moto. Mimi na yetu moto kwa selo. Mimi hadi uniue kuliko moto. Mimi naenda kwa lift kwa chini na ngoja. Moto gas itakuua.
Just take a look and listen to what Dr. Mumbi Seraki had to say about University of Nairobi on fire.
Can you imagine, family? There's been a massive fire overnight at the University of Nairobi. On the eve of the biggest demonstration that was supposed to happen today, where students from all over were going to be protesting against this new financing thing, HELB, whatever it is. I swear, these guys think, do they think we're such idiots? Do they think we're such fools? Have you ever heard? Me personally, I've never heard of a fire at University of Nairobi, like where the main campus is, where all the files, all the books, all the knowledge is. And we already know now what's happening with DCI, with everything we've been told about Noordin Haji. So who do you think's behind this? So this is the fire at University of Nairobi. There was one fire truck that came. Guys are saying they hope it's not the finance department, because you know how these guys like to joke around.
So Kenyans, after all this, do you think that there's a money problem in our universities? And do you think that the President of Kenya, William Ruto, was crafting the university funding model? Listen to what Chege Majuis had to say.
I can see comrades all over the country saying that they will organize a mammoth strike if President Ruto does not tell the Minister of Education to release the money for the help. You know what these people, they don't understand is that when Ruto was crafting the band 1, band 2, band 3, he was cunningly crafting it because hakuna pesa kwa serikali. Are you together? So he was crafting it so that university comrades will not get the funding through the technicalities. Ungekuwa unajaza hiyo band 1, band 2, band 3, unaambiwa wewe hutapata hizi pesa because of A, B, C, D. That was the reason Ruto was crafting it. Awanyime pesa. That's why the band 1, band 2 was being crafted. Because he knew these things of help, as long as a student amefikisha cut-off points za university, anastahili apewe help. Na kwa sababu Ruto don't want to give out that money, kwenye anapeleka pesa za taifa ndiye anajua, that's why he was crafting the band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4. Now that the court squashed that thing, you are putting Ruto to square zero. Aanze another plan ya ku make sure vile comrades hawatapata pesa zao. Here's a help. And I'm telling comrades, if you don't put pressure, my friend, nyinyi hamtasoma, hizo pesa hazitapatikana, my friend. Munasikia even some ministries, my friend, tissue paper inakosa, tissue paper, my friend. Eh? And still people are supporting Ruto. My friend, let me tell you, your country will collapse in your own eyes.
Despite the challenges that our university students are facing each and every day, some of them are looking forward to graduate and some of them are almost graduating. And the only message I can leave them with is this.
PLO is one who says a good dancer knows when to leave the dance floor. So I want to leave the dance floor now. I want you, as you leave this afternoon, go out there with the confidence of a Luo man. Go out there with the loyalty of a Kamba man. Carry the name of this institution with the beauty of a Taita woman. Oh, go out there and be angry at poverty and failure with the anger of a Kisii man. I want you to also go out there and be as brave as a Maasai warrior. I know sometimes things will be highs and lows, mountain and valley. Have the staying power of a Kalenjin runner. But please, there is a lot that life has to offer to you. May you have the appetite of a Luya man. God bless you and thank you very much.
Kenyans, since President William Ruto took office, since the day he was sworn in, what has really changed in Kenya and what has been working for Kenya and Kenyans? Listen to how Ruben Kigame outlines what has been working for Kenya. Like they will not believe. Listen to this.
You want us to speak about what is working, and I'll tell you what is working. What is working is insults of the citizens. What is working is abductions. What is working is increase of taxes. What is working is many Kenyans failing to receive services from SHA. What is working is parents not knowing whether their children are in primary school or high school. What is working is extra borrowing. In fact, I have had a preview of what the 2025-2026 budget looks like. And we are completely increasing our expenditure and going on high, expecting that miracles will happen from somewhere. For this government, the miracles look like borrowing. Borrowing. And I see, fascination with talk and talk. Let's bring down the cost of government, then you raise it. Let's stop foreign trips, then you increase them. Let's make life easy for Kenyans, you make it harder. You see, the measure of whether something is working is not statistics. The measure of if your wife or husband is happy is not a press statement. So we don't want gaslighting. We do not want the bravado and the pomp out there. What we want to see is the promises that were made to citizens being fulfilled. And the tragedy of this Kenya Kwanza government is broken promises. It's better not to promise than to promise and not fulfill.
Do you remember this video of President William Ruto saying that the Wi-Fi in Kenya across the country is free?
You know, when we delivered the Wi-Fi across Kenya and made it free, we intended it to be used for good purposes, for people to access e-commerce space, to work on that internet. But sometimes it is used to send us encouraging messages.
I'm just wondering, which are those Kenyans who are using free internet, free Wi-Fi? Please tell us in the comments down below. Because currently right now, the government is seeking to hike license fees for satellite providers by over 10 times since Starlink entered the local market. Did you know that? Just listen to this.
Things might change for satellite communication service providers operating in Kenya, such as the American company Starlink. Here's why. The Kenyan government, through its communications regulator, CA, plans to raise the license fees for the right it gives companies like Starlink. Per new proposals CA published in December, Kenya seeks to review the satellite landing rights, also known as SLR, license it requires companies to obtain in order to land their signal in Kenya. CA seeks to raise the SLR initial license fees from the current $12,500 which is about 1.6 million Kenyan shillings, to 15 million Kenyan shillings. The regulator further wants to introduce an annual operating fee of 4 million shillings, or 0.4% of the company's annual gross turnover, whichever is higher. Stakeholders have until January 23 to submit their comments on the proposals, which CA plans to implement in the 2025-2026 financial year. CA says the review is meant to address and remove certain market entry and operational barriers identified over time.
So do you think the internet, the Wi-Fi, will be free or not? Because in the looks of things, this sounds and looks different from what the president said.
When we delivered Wi-Fi across Kenya and made it free, we intended it to be used for good purposes, not for sending us some of these messages. Musiniingilie, those are not my words. Those are the words of your president. Amesema the Kenya Kwanza government has delivered Wi-Fi for free across the country. Wewe kama kwenu hakuna Wi-Fi ya huko Kenya. Rudi Kenya. Huku Kenya, we are enjoying free Wi-Fi. Hey, every time you just want to think something positive about your country, they just make it worse. Aki, si mtu ambie tu Ruto anyamaze. Angoje tu 2027 sasa. Juu, we. Free Wi-Fi.
This clearly shows you that the economy is being held hostage and is being crushed to deliberately have total control of the masses.
Kenya has been held hostage. So I told you, one of the biggest implementations this New World Order agenda foresees is creation of what you call CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies. And for that to happen, the first thing they have to do is to ensure they crash the economies of all these countries. See, it's simple. If I want to build an economy of a country, I only have to do one thing. I have to ensure everyone has money in their pockets.
Yeah.
Because economies are built by circulation, money in circulation. When I have money and you have money and he has money, we all spend. The government is earning through VAT and all those things. But if you look at the Kenyan situation, all these taxes being brought in. Today, you're told more than 245, 250 international companies have already left Kenya.
Yeah.
They are moving to Tanzania. Today, from number 1, we are number 5 in terms of GDP growth. Rwanda is leading with 6.9. Number 2 is Uganda, 5.6. South Sudan has a 5.6. Tanzania has a 5.5. We are stuck at 5.0, 5.1. Why? These policies you're talking about. So we as Kenyans have to sober up. And this goes to the leadership. As in, it costs nothing for leaders to decide that building a country is all about baking a bigger cake. So today we have a leadership that is all scrambling for this small piece of cake. What they don't know is that once you bake a bigger cake, you'll even have enough for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is how they're supposed to think. You know? But if you look at the situation and the way these things are being implemented day in, day out, it tells you we're in a very big problem. And the government of the day has been held hostage. And we have to say as is. And that's the reality.
To be honest, it is quite clear that Kenyans are tired and they want a change in this country. They want a better future for this country. And one man decided to inject on the streets in public despite his current situation in life. He understands exactly what is taking place in his home country. Let's listen to this.
Vijana wa bodaboda, wale watu wanafanya biashara ndogo ndogo, na tumepanga.
Acha kucheka, tutachukua video.
Tumetenga bilioni 52 kwa mama wa mboga, vijana wa mkokoteni, watu wa bodaboda, wale watu wanafanya biashara ndogo ndogo, na tumepanga na tumeweka mikakati. Na tumeweka mikakati. Safari hii hatutakubali mwananchi wa kawaida akosa pesa mfukoni. Ama namna gani jamani? Wale
that women will no longer use jembes to till their land. Government will import between 7,000 and 10,000 tractors into the country.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
they're coming for you.
From Kenyan Gen Z inspire Liberians.
Liberia's Parliament House has been set on fire.
To Ministry of Health scandal.
You must be stupid to sign something you don't know.
Is this the country you want? Sex workers protests.
I'm a sex worker activist. Na sisi ma sex worker.
Parliament, we are coming. We are coming for you. We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today and my name is Elvis Derry. We all know that Kenyans are feared all over the world when it comes to online war. And recently, the Kenyan online army, they decided to go and send greetings to African presidents. And just listen to what Dr. Mumbi Seraki had to say about this incident.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So now Kenya's online army has managed to locate the numbers of every African president and wanasalimiwa wakiambiwa why they should not select Baba to be the next African Union. fancy matching it too much. Oh my God. And there's this MP who came out and did an interview, I think Caleb or Misi or something like that, yeah? One of Baba's diehards. And he was saying that Rao has never ever been this unpopular. In all his handshakes, in all his betrayals, I think joining Nabi was the ultimate betrayal, and it will be hard for him to come back from that one.
Kenyans are undefeated. I salute you, Kenyans. Like, Kenyans have inspired the Gen Zs all over the world, from Nigeria to Bangladesh, and now Liberia. They decided to occupy and even going ahead to burn the parliament building. Just take a look. So if you ask yourselves, why did the Liberian Gen Zs burn down their parliament? Here is why. Listen to this.
Liberia's Parliament House has been set on fire following a protest that has been going on for 2 days. Apparently, this is the second time the Parliament building has caught fire in 1 week. This protest started on Tuesday, 17th December by opposition against efforts to remove Parliament Speaker, who is currently facing corruption allegations. It appears that the Speaker is a member of the opposition. Protesters are also demanding the resignation of the President. Authorities are yet to confirm the cause of the fire, but local reports indicate that suspects were arrested near the building when the fire broke out. So far, no connection has been made yet between the protest and the fire. Let me know your thoughts on this.
Viva comrades, viva! Viva Kenyans, viva! Viva Gen Z, viva! Like, you guys are just the best. Like, you have changed the political arena, not only in Kenya, not only in Africa, but the whole world. Like, people are following Kenya's footsteps. Like, you people are just on a different level, man. Like, I salute you, Kenyans. Instead of the government creating job opportunities for our people, they're busy looting and also busy focusing on shenanigans, nonsense like vaccinating the cows so that the cows can stop fatting. Can you imagine that? Our people from Turkana are being exported to Italy daily and left there to live under inhumane conditions in the streets, tamacking and looking for jobs. Like, what a sad state to live in. Just take a look at this story.
So mimi nilikuwa shughuli zangu nikapatana na hawa wasichana wamekaa hapa kuchunguza vizuri, kumbe ni wale wanaitwa Kamarajong, ni Turkana tribe. Hawa wanaletangwa Nairobi, mostly huwa wanadozi nje, yani kulala nje, wanakuanga mtaa Isili, huwa wanafanyia wa Somali kazi. Na job yao yenye wanafanya ni kupanguza nyumba, kuangalia watoto, kazi za usafi. Kulingana vile nimefanya uchunguzi nikasikia kuna mtu mwenye huwa anawaleta, anakula ile yenye anakula, anawaleta, then wakifika hapa ni kuhaso tu sasa kungangana na maisha yao, wajue venye watasurvive. Na hivyo ndio iko kwa hii street ya Isili. Jione.
Niambie nitakufanyia. Nafanyanga hizo. Na ku-advertise.
Angry Isiolo youths, Isiolo Gen Zs, they decided to inject. While the governor was busy yapping on the podium, they went on to cut the wires on the speakers, and it went silent. And the governor could not address the nation anymore. Like, just take a look at how the Isiolo youths, Isiolo Gen Zs injected that day. Take a look.
Function ya governor imeisha, na imeisha kwa sababu wasichana na vijana Isiolo wako na hasira sana na governor. Wamekatakata waya yote, governor hakuna kitu anaongea. Ile kitu aliandikiwa pia alishindwa kuongea, watu wakakasirika, wakakata waya yote. Hali ni kama hii, Waislamu tuombee mtu.
Amazing, amazing. Isiolo youths, Isiolo Gen Zs, keep on injecting. Continue injecting without intimidation. Nobody should stop you or make you think otherwise, that you should not fight for better and good governance in Isiolo. I salute you, my comrades and Gen Zs. Keep on injecting. And I have a question for you Kenyans. Is the president being lied to, or is he the liar? Or even worse, is he the one who is controlling or in charge of this country? Let's listen to what Honorable Babu Owino had to say about this.
Hapa nchini kuna shida kubwa sana. Kwanza niliona ya kwamba rais alikuwa anasema ya kwamba inflation rate iko at around 2.8%. Kitu ya kwanza, inflation is the rate at which prices of goods and services increase with time. Therefore, prices zikiwa juu, inamaanisha there will be high cost of living. Cost of living, gharama ya maisha itakuwa juu. Kwa hivyo rais either alikuwa anatudanganya ama alikuwa anadanganywa. Kwa vile sasa inatuonyesha kwamba rais hayuko in charge of this country because ajui chenye anasema. Anatudanganya wazi.
So Kenyans, give us your honest opinion in the comments down below. Do you think that the president of Kenya is actually running this country, managing this country? Or do you think that the people who are surrounding him are the ones who are lying to him? Or do you think that the president is the master manipulator, the master liar? Just give us your opinion, your honest opinion in the comments down below.
Hapa nchini kuna shida kubwa sana. Kwanza niliona ya kwamba rais alikuwa anasema ya kwamba inflation rate iko at around 2.8%.
I want to take you all to Kwale County, where a family lost their loved one and they were supposed to go and bury their loved one. But how the body was being transported, very sad. And even the road that the body was being transported on, very sad state of affairs. Like Fatuma Mohamed Achani, Kwale County Governor, like what the hell are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, just take a look at this. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is so sad, man. Like you might find out that millions has been allocated to build that road, but yet even a shilling, even a coin has not been used or even spent to building that road. Now look at how their loved one is being transported. What a sad state of affairs. And that's not all Kenyans. Even in Nairobi County, Nairobi City, the capital city of Kenya, when you go to Ruai, Sir Henry Road was allocated 137 million shillings. But all that money was misused. And the governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja, has not said anything about it. Keoti Sonko went there in Ruai to go and show people what corruption really looks like. And just take a look at what he had to say.
So good afternoon, guys. Today I'm here at Ruai on Dramval Sahendi Road. So this road was commissioned by the government of Nairobi, by the governor, anaitwa Johnson Sakaja, and it was allocated 137 million. So leo morning I saw someone posted on social media that this road it is in a very bad state, and so nimejaribu kufika hapa, and so I've actually found that the road is badly constructed. In fact, the contract was given to a person called, this company naitwa Altan Enterprises Limited, yeah? But now they were here some 5 months ago, and then they left. So you can see how the road inakaa. The state here, there is Kipita. And so this road, 137 million. The contractor currently is out on the side. Inafaana venye iko hivi, and then you say Sakaja is working in Nairobi. It's making Nairobi works. This is how Nairobi works.
Kenyans, so do you see where the mutu wetu mentality is taking us in this country? Taking us to nowhere. Let us all be flexible. Be a people where you can vote for any tribe. It doesn't matter which tribe they come from, as long as they're doing the right work. Because at the end of the day, if you still support your people, your own person from your tribe, and even they're not even helping you in your own counties, in your own constituencies, it is the people who will suffer. The Kenyan people will suffer. It is you and me who is going to suffer in this country. Let us stop all this tribal mindset, this mutu wetu mentality that the person who should take this seat is supposed to be on our tribe. Even if they are bad or good, even if they are going to help us or not, they are supposed to be from our tribe. Let us stop all that nonsense, Kenyans. Let us save this country. Let us come together as one people. Vote wisely. Recently, the governors were very reluctant to sign the Chief and SHA agreement after they went on to question the transparency of this agreement with the Ministry of Health. And you know what the president said? Kasongo said that you must be stupid to sign a deal or an agreement that you don't know. And do you know why the governors were very reluctant? Just listen to what Kelly had to say.
Ni aje wase, you must be stupid to sign something you don't know. Na hizo si word zangu. That's President Ruto dismissing governors when they questioned the transparency of the SHA agreement with the Ministry of Health. And why are the governors uneasy about this deal? 3 reasons. They don't know who the supplier is, yet they're being asked to sign on to leasing medical equipment. They don't know when these equipments will actually be delivered, even after payments begin. And 3, and most importantly, they don't know the total cost of the equipments they are leasing. And instead of answers, all they get is a payment schedule showing 60 to 80% of SHA funds will allegedly go directly to mysterious suppliers. So what does this actually mean to ordinary Kenyans? For example, an MRI scan, SHA covers 11,000. Vendor anapewa ngapi? 9,900. Leaving the county hospital with just 1,100 Kenya shillings. In some instances, supplier anachukua even more than what SHA covers. For example, the PC ligament or AC ligament repair, SHA covers 280,000, but the supplier atapewa 340,000. That's almost more than 60,000. Anaenda nayo. And for life-saving procedures like thoracic aortic repair, the vendor or supplier pockets the entire 1.12 million Kenya shillings covered by SHA, leaving the county hospital with how much? Zero sufuri nakwambia. Imagine. Nothing. So with hospitals left broke, they are forced to raise their services. Ndio waweze kusurvive. Na nani anaumia, if you might guess, or might ask yourself? Ordinary Kenyans, already crushed by overtaxation and inflation. So I say, we fought before and won. Tumeangusha Adani, tukaangusha finance bill, sembuse hii sijui shift angasha. Let's demand a return to the working and proven NHIF system before billions disappear into thin air. Cause manze, onge honesty, onge transparency, onge accountability with this government.
Yo, Kenyans, even the sex workers are not safe in this country. They're not safe under Kasongo. The sex workers, they went to protest and demand for their rights because they're also being discriminated in their field. Just listen to one of the sex workers, what he had to say.
Okay, the name I go by Ismail, but I'm well known by Benita. I'm a sex worker activist. Na sisi ma sex worker, I will include myself. Tumekuwa tukiuliwa. Wanawake wanauliwa huku nje. Tukienda kwa police station anasema huyo ni malaya. Malaya ndiye anafaa kuuliwa. That is the question. Being a sex worker, it's a death sentence in Kenya. Mama yangu saizi akikuja akuwe ni sex worker, anafaa kuuliwa. That is the question that we have been posing. Na leo tuko kwa streets kwa sababu sisi sex workers ndio tunauliwa. Ukipatikana usiku na maskari wanakushika, unaenda unaitishwa 2,000. Instead of them protecting you, wanakuitisha 2,000 ati kwa sababu uko kwa street. Uko kwa street kwa sababu unataka kulisha familia yako. They are all singles lady. Haya, unapata ukienda kwa police station, ukiwa wewe ni sex workers, hauwezi pata rights yako anywhere in Kenya. Na I'm here to emphasize with all women, mama mboga, mama uji wote, tukujeni to condemn this. Si kwa sababu mimi ndio sex workers, nikimbia kwa barabara nikisema ninauliwa. Hapana, sisi wote tunauliwa kama wanawake. Na hiyo ndio nimesimama hapa nikicondemn this. Nikisema sisi sex workers ndio tunakuwa discriminated na wanaume hao wenyewe ndio wanakuja kutuua. Unapata dira imekupigia simu, unaibiwa paka simu yako, unaibiwa paka pesa. Na uko kwa street, ukienda kwa nini wanakuambia sasa jueni sex workers tutaenda tukuwekea changa. Tukuwekee changa, tukuseme wewe ulikuwa unauza changa. Siku anauza changa, nilikuwa kwa street. Mbona mnanitisha 2,000? Where is the justice in Kenya? That is the question.
Someone wants to speak. Sawa, tumaliza.
Leta hii ya uja hapa.
Unataka kuongea?
Mimi sinaongea Kizungu.
Yo, Kenyans, I have a lot of questions to ask, but I think I'll save my questions for another day. But I personally believe that each and every Kenyans, they deserve to be treated equally and fairly, including the sex workers.
Tumekuwa tukiuliwa. Wanawake wanauliwa huku nje. Tukienda kwa police station anasema huyo ni malaya. Malaya ndiye anafaa kuuliwa. That is the question. Being a sex worker, it's a death sentence in Kenya.
I personally think that the parliament should be dissolved. Listen to what this young Gen Z had to say, teaching Kenyans and teaching the people on step by step on how to dissolve the parliament. So Kenyans, Gen Zs, comrades, listen, open your ears and your eyes and watch this video.
Githurai wanamaliza watu in the middle of the night, wanakujadi kwa mlango yako sindo, walizima internet, X information haikuwa na circulate, but we know what's happening sindo, waligiuza home ya defenseless Kenyans war zone sindo. So bro, leo wacha ni kuintroduce to ki Molotov cocktail sindo, kitu ilishindia Spanish War 1936, kitu yenye Ukraine wanatumia sai kuangusha matank. Hii kitu ni very simple sindo, ina consist mambo matatu: casing, wick na combustible liquid. For casing, as long as chupa unatumia iko strong enough to stay intact ukishikilia, and iko fragile enough ku break immediately ukirusha, then you're good. So sana chupa za pombe sindo. For hiyo combustible liquid, pombe itabantu vizuri sindo, but lazima ikuwe proof high kidogo. Unaweza tumia kivodka hivi, but it's better ukitumia something stronger. Hiyo wick ni ya kuwasha. Unaweza tumia cloth yote ya kawaida, unaikata tu, as long as it's not synthetic. So unaweka liquid yako karibu 3/4 ya chupa, half moja ya wick unaeka ndani na shika hiyo liquid. Unaweza funga cloth ingine kwa neck kama weke tape, just extra safety. Hii end ya wick haifai kwa more than 5 cm ndo, then utai wet na hiyo liquid kidogo, uiwashe and immediately unaacha ifly. Kitu important, chupa kuvunjika ndio inafanya moto ianze, si hiyo moto kutoka hapa iende all the way hadi kwa hiyo liquid. Initial damage ya kimolotov si mob, lakini hiyo kitu waizimi, ndio maana inaangusha hadi matank sindo. All in all, tusilose focus. Huyu jamaa lazima aende and ataandika hizo bill kwa kutia seli yake sindo.
Kenyans, I want to leave you guys with this one question. Do you trust your president? Do you trust that the president is working for this country? Do you trust that the president is taking this country to the next level? Do you? The InfoTrack survey says that only 1% of Kenyans trust their president. Just listen to what Dr. Mumbi Seraki had to say about this.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So can you imagine? A recent survey that has just been completed has shown only 1% of Kenyans trust Nabi. First of all, who is that 1%? Who is that? Is that his family? Is that Charlene? Is that Evangelist for State House? Hey, they had said 100%, 1% still. But yo, this guy is getting sleepless nights. Because now, internationally, they know this is like a vote of no confidence. I don't think there's any president who has tried to stay in power when only 1% of his population trust him. And by the way, I was hearing he hates with a passion his latest nickname, Kasongo. They tried to even reverse psychology with guys by saying Kasongo delivers, and Kenyans went ham. But 1%.